One second, I'll be right back. Brenna, they tell me today is hump day. I can't believe it's already Wednesday. It is now 9 o'clock. It's going to be a beautiful day, everyone, if we make it a beautiful day. If we want to make it a not great day, then it won't be a great day. So I'm going to call the docket. If you're here, let me know that you are here. In custody, we have Christopher Garcia, Daniel Munoz, Brianna Mitchell, Ron Vidalis, Osili Griffin, Jacqueline Wood, Aiden Silva. Thank you. Eddie Marine, Corin Campbell. Brent, I'm gonna jinx it. Everybody's here today. David Vietti. Thank you. In custody, we have Utombasi Iquiri, Ryan Houghton. Here, thank you. Jared Johnson. In custody, we have Tremonte Singleton, Michael Kilgore, Uriah Huffman, Stephen Ward, April Keeler, Gregory Gonzalez. Thank you. In custody, we have Joshua Gonzalez and Andy Maldonado, David Sanchez, Luis Pena, Kayla Rolag. In custody, we have Erica Rodriguez, Claudia Trujillo. In custody, we have Eric Johnson, Chase Gordon, Brandon Richardson, Jose Romero, Samuel Rodriguez, John Gonzalez, Christopher Elon, Benito Garcia, Charles Jones, Julianne Hughes. Oh, we did that yesterday. I'll check and see what's up with that. Megan McCloskey. Thank you. Curtis Williams. Curtis Williams. All right, is there anyone who's present and your name was not called? What's your name? Do you know who your attorney is?
I'm present, very Judge.
Oh, okay. Is it pre-indictment?
No, it was. I'm a little confused because I did get a sending for today, but I also got an email saying PTD dismissal. So I'm trying to figure out whether.
All right, we're going to see what's happening. Do you have the cause number?
I do, Your Honor. It's 2000.
Oh, you can have a seat, sir.
Uh, 2022 CR 0108.
All right, we'll find out what's going on. Is there anyone else? Yes,
William Westover.
you say Westover?
Westover, Westover. Yes, Your Honor.
The Westovers of San Antonio?
If only.
Yeah, all right. What is your cause number? Do you have it, or a SID number?
Yeah, SID number is 1171704.
Wait, 1171704?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, do you know who your attorney is?
I do.
Who?
Shannon Locke. Here, actually, so.
All right, just give us a moment. We're going to look that up.
Okay.
But the front row is for people who are late.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Anyone else? All right, everyone, these are the rules of the court. If you've been to HEB, you know what you've noticed. They are wiping down registers after each customer. So that tells you that maybe something is happening. There are a lot of people who are getting the flu, the COVID, and pneumonia all at the same time, which is not a good thing. So I know everyone is gearing up for Christmas, New Year's, and every other holiday in between. So I like to keep the courtroom as least congested as possible. And I don't want anyone ever to be able to say that they got pneumonia from the 187th or they got COVID from the 187th. So attorneys and everyone, one, you're going to have to be patient. We're going to try to move through the docket as quickly as possible to get you out of here as quickly as possible. Number two, to the attorneys, you have files on either side. Just place your file with the prosecutor and have a seat. They're going to call you in the order in which you'll appear. First is going to be first and last is going to be last unless somebody allows the last person to skip. Do not approach the court unless you've conferred with the state, conferred with your client. If you have someone who's in custody, let the deputy know. Once you request your client that's in custody, do not leave the courtroom because that messes around with logistics because they're only allowed to have so many people in the box for security reasons. If you have a client who needs an interpreter, even if you speak their language, we still need an interpreter here. So ask for the interpreter. Once you get the interpreter, please do not leave because we have a shortage of interpreters. And if you're not here, they're going to leave very quickly. Okay. All right. So everyone, it's Wednesday. It's the middle of the week. I know we all thought we would be retired by now. We're not. We're going to accept that and put some patience in your pocket, take it out as needed, and be kind to each other. Please confer. Thank you. All right. Joseph Appel, that case has been dismissed. If you want a dismissal, if you go to the back, they'll probably be able to pull a copy for you.
Judge, I wasn't clear whether it was being dismissed from the PTD program or dismissed entirely.
Yeah. Oh, I think
got the setting afterwards, or right around the same time. Okay.
Yeah. So it's
I'll go back and dismiss when I release them, Judge.
yes.
Great. Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. William Westover, if you can come forward.
Yeah. So will it come here in time?
Hello. Hi. So in this court, when your case hasn't been indicted, we'll have settings for you, but only if your attorney wants it set. So what you need to do is, whenever you see a case that's been indicted, you'll know it's been indicted because it'll have a CR number with it. It'll probably be 2022 CR or maybe 2023 CR. When you see that CR, that's when you know you most definitely need to be in court, okay? So you can talk to your bondsman and let them know that you showed up and you're excused, and you can also call your attorney. All right. You're welcome. You're excused. Who's here on Corwin Campbell? Yes.
Here for a discovery.
Oh, have your client come forward? Who is this criminal trial division or family violence? All right, could I see someone from criminal trial division on discovery matter? Will you confirm with one of these attorneys?
No, Marcus.
Okay, Marcus is on paternity leave. And he also is going to be a staff attorney. So if there are discovery issues, do you mind, well, would you please confer with them?
Yes.
All right, you can have a seat.
Okay. Speak with me. Sure. This is Colby Campbell. Campbell, Colby Campbell. This is the, you don't know that. It's a drive-by shooting on September 13, 2021, around 1 o'clock in the afternoon. The victim wasn't hurt, he had some shrapnel in, but the person in a black car, he described him as a black male, may have had a beard. Another witness said black male, bald head, was driving the car. And the car drove off. Police arrived. And 2 hours later, the victim said the driver with the AR, he said it was an AR rifle, had dreads. My client has dreads. He wasn't arrested until July 27th of this year. He was indicted May 9th of this year. And he's denied that he's involved. And from family members, it appears clear that his father was the driver. That was his father's car.
Get in touch with
The police officer, the detective,
Charles Fox.
called by the victim.
And let him know his client needs to fill this out.
And here's the license plate.
Thank you. And then let him know I'll sign it.
Detective ran the license plate and it came back to Coleman. His father's name was Coleman. So it was a Sanders Jr. But it came back to the father's address, not the Coleman's campus, my client's address. But for some reason, he pulled the driver's license of Coleman Davis Union, and it was my client, and it was from the driver's license because he's never been arrested before. So I was hired in, after he was arrested in July. His father admitted yesterday to him that he did it, but he's the kind of person that says, "Oh, we have to prove it up." And I even sent Marcus a video of his father. The father is kind of estranged from the family, and he lives 2 minutes away from us. But the detective did a very good job. And I investigated, and I went out there, found 22 surveillance cameras, all in that area from 9 different businesses. And of course, when we got the case in July, they don't have any footage. So I also asked Marcus if he would agree to T-Mobile, his cell phone record company. I even asked Marcus if he would agree to subpoena the T-Mobile of my client's cell phone record. And he didn't agree to do that, so I got a full voter. But T-Mobile said too late. They'll keep them past 90 days, which another expert. But that's what T-Mobile told me. My client agreed to take a lie detector test. I sent that to Marcus. And the one witness at the scene identified the driver of the car as a black male, faces bald, and no facial hair, skinny. My client is not skinny by any means. He's had a full beard for 3 years. And but he said, I looked eye to the guy driver because he drove right in front of me. And we looked at each other and he saw this guy as a 30 to 40 years old. He was in bed. He works.
What page?
Yeah, his girlfriend, but she was already at work. And I have a timeline of everything he did that day. But unfortunately, I
just
can't
do the top number at the top.
information. But another expert told me
Nice.
that he can get Corwin's phone and try to get that information from his phone. But unfortunately, Corwin spent all his money on the private investigator. So he has no money left. He doesn't have $1,200 because he says, I'll give up my phone, but he doesn't have that money. So since then, I sent Marcus 2 letters, and I'll give you copies. asking for additional information. One is November 14th. Because his father was arrested on May 2nd of this year, and I never we heard that he had an AR rifle with him. And I asked Marcus, can you look into that? And I never got a response. And then I sent him another letter on November 21, asking for the same information, but I also asked for,
I heard that. Lady is a smart lady because I wasn't counting personal glasses.
I also told him.
Moving south today.
Showing Campbell Senior's girlfriend, who acknowledged that he had an AR rifle, and his ex-wife says he always had rifles and would always carry guns with him. So I sent that letter to Marcus, and I haven't gotten any response, and I checked e-discovery, there's nothing new in e-discovery, so I thought, well, maybe put it on e-discovery. There's nothing new except a memo of closure that was filed on November 3rd. And then the judge wanted me to do a discovery order. To do say the CAD system, and I sent that to Marcus, and I had him first one of the things that order.
All my files, but all the evidence.
Yeah.
And then we also, my detective found another witness that was owner of the Swan Cleaners in the area. And she identified the driver of the black Audi as a black male, clean shaven, and that's a description of his
I
father.
could have sworn there was a
So that's where we are.
violation report.
Yeah, his dad does have on his paper, just need to do eyes.
Right. But I was more interested in whether or not there was an AR in his car when he was stopped. If that's what. No, for the May 2nd, I was told it was the May 2nd one, he had an AR rifle with him. And it may have been confiscated.
Okay, all right, yeah, I'll set it for a hearing then.
I even have a picture of the rifle that
Oh,
his
okay.
father sent his son
Thank you.
sometime in early 2021. Look what I read. You know, like I said,
Okay. All right, thank you. Have you talked with the state?
Yeah.
If you want to talk to them about this, and then I'll make my ruling. I have your motion. Yes. Mr. Jimenez, you may want to give them this so they'll have the information.
Did a good job of reading,
All right, thank you.
but he is working now.
Can you mute us for a second? Oh, and here's this. I think they want that back. Well, let me just tell you. Yes, my mom told me to do the insert. And that makes it so much easier. And actually, my mom got me insert, so I have like two.
I feel like we've really gotten to work with each other.
My name's Griffin. I'm a lawyer.
Uh-huh.
And I'm loving this house.
Your client Gonzalez, John Gonzalez? Is
Okay.
this custody?
I don't time to see it.
No, he's not.
Okay, well, whenever you can.
Okay.
Okay.
How's it going?
Andy
Maldonado.
Because I don't know how long that's been pending.
I mean, for all sorts of stuff. There's, you know, how the.
When I got the came in here, William Westover, they just sent me a dismissal for his case.
Is it okay if I move my client to you?
Who's your client?
Can
When you, yeah. I mean, you know how we're going around.
Oh, yeah. Mr. Mayor and Chief. Yeah, it's like. First. How long do you go? I don't know, I'm not sure.
Not really fair about fine.
Maybe because I was. Maybe because I was running.
So what? I can text you.
Here's your, morning, here's that one.
Okay. Very good. Oh, excellent. The Nightmag was indicted like Monday.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, all right, thank you.
To, like, they may restrict the how far away the property is, but still have it.
I'm contacting him.
I think I might have it.
Is the SID number on it?
Norma,
Yes, ma'am.
if the 379 needs any help because
Oh.
of their situation, they're gonna be sending things here for us.
See the photos.
That's probably came from the 24/5 minutes.
Oh, that was for Jimmy John's? Oh, yeah, we didn't do Jimmy John's. We did,
We did Domino's.
Domino's, yeah. Well, I need to take my signature off.
Well, I didn't show you this many edits.
Okay.
No, that's not all. We didn't do, that's came from 24/5, that's from the border patrol. Yeah. Yeah. Did they say for us to, they thought that was ours? I think she gets to do that.
Good catch.
Yeah, I'm like, no, it was like almost $500.
We ran into order Jimmy John's. We're pizza
Oh,
people.
I didn't even, ugh.
We're pizza people.
Jimmy John's receipt. But Jimmy John's receipt.
I think Jimmy Dunn's would be happy with that $500.
I switched.
Yes.
Food. I guess because they got it for West County.
Like, how about? You know, say that. EMS.
Norma, do you have that form that they wanted me to fill out for the state bar?
Let me see if I still do that.
All right, thank you.
Register something.
EMS increase, not story.
The directory update?
Yes.
Yes, I have it.
Can you send that to me?
Yes.
And I do believe that I've already filled it out, but they keep thinking I have not.
Well, TPS.
Oh, wait. Oh, this is inside of that. This was around one judge. This was for me.
Okay.
Let's see if I can find the other one.
Something really big like that.
Okay, we're ready.
I said no.
Can I give you a voucher here? I swear all the time, sweetie. Thank you.
I know.
Okay, cool.
Right behind you. For now.
That guy in the middle. What should I do with that?
That I filed a motion to modify on. I'm gonna see if I can approach the judge about it. Night mag 687-499. Yeah, he's in the hall. He's in the hall. The guy talked to the state. Oh, I don't know.
No, I mean, I'm hoping it's on.
Is your one pass? You could.
That's what I mean, get people sticking back.
Okay.
This case, his SID numbers, it's not set today.
Oh,
You want one
give me 1 second. Let me log in.
okay.
And then okay, what's the SID number?
110-3829. What's his bond?
Bond is 15,000.
Any setting? Any setting?
No, no setting,
No indictment.
no indictment,
One case injury to them.
injury to an elderly. Mhm.
Okay.
And it's family violence.
Family violence. Mike was the one who's handling your family violence right now.
It would be Kathleen and Michelle Hayden.
Catherine.
Mhm.
If I want to schedule a PR bond here for him, how's that work with you?
You can approach them and see if they're in agreement. If they're in agreement, then the judge will sign it. If they're not in agreement, then I'll set it.
Okay. Catherine.
Kathleen.
Oh.
I think 6. Okay.
I heard it's short,
Yeah, he's kicking, but
it's not for long.
no. Dangerous personally, dangerous.
He's still on the ground.
Would you do more? The affirmative funding?
Much to his lawyer's chagrin. That's okay. Should I call my name? I'll get out.
All right, thank you. All right, the party's on Corwin Campbell. All right, have you all had a chance to confer over the discovery issue?
Yes.
All right, and what is the discovery issue?
There are two requests. This stems from the discovery order being signed back in September.
Yes.
And
Could everyone please whisper? And I'm sorry if you could speak up.
was regarding the discovery order back in September, and I submitted a letter on November 14th and November 29th to Mr. Sanders, also proposing the order you suggested that we prepare in regards to two items
Mhm.
from your discovery order, and I have not heard from him, and I asked him for some additional information, and Brittany unfortunately knows nothing about this case. I think she would.
All right, so this is what we're gonna do, because I do know that Mr. Sanders is on paternity leave. And my understanding is he's accepted a new position, so he won't be coming back to this court. And I'm still waiting to see who the first chair is gonna be in this court. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna reset it. This will not interfere with his time as far as when I give a plea deadline date or anything like that. But I want your attorney to have a chance to confer with the prosecutor who's going to be on this case. And Ms. Sparks and Mr. Escobar, hopefully that's his last name. They're not able to really confer with you because this wasn't their case, so they don't know what's going on with the case. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set it for the third week in the new year. And so hopefully we'll know who the first chair is. And this will give them a chance to let the first chair know that they need to be ready for the discovery motion. All right, Ms. Ferguson, can I have a reset for discovery on Corwin Campbell for the third week in January, please?
The 17th.
All right, so we'll be back on January 17th.
Your Honor, I'm not going to be in Texas.
Oh, where will you be? Do tell.
My son, who is a concrete contractor, specialty floors, said, "Dad, can you come with me to the concrete convention in Las Vegas for the 16th, 17th, 18th?" And I said, "Why wouldn't you want me to go to that?"
Yeah.
He says, "Well, I want you to come." So I'm going, and I
He
already
probably has a surprise for you.
Well, it is my birthday on the 16th, but I don't think my son would think that far.
Yes, he probably is. I mean, anytime you can spend time with children is a great time. And the fact that he invited you, his dad, he probably could have invited anyone else. And he's like, no, I want to invite my dad.
And he actually paid for the airline too.
Oh,
Better than I.
see, he's paying for the airline ticket. Brenna, if he doesn't go, I will.
Yeah.
All right. Did you see the movie The Hangover?
Yes, I did.
Is that what that's going to happen with you guys? We're going to be reading about you in the news. All right, so we can't do the 17th. He's going to be enjoying time with his son.
I can do the 21st. Yeah, that would.
The 23rd.
All right, so we'll be back on the 23rd, and I expect a book report. Didn't they used to do that in school? I expect not a book report. I expect a report on your time you spent.
One of the things I did years ago, I was speaking at a employment law. And I brought my son, 11 years old.
Mhm.
I says, "You can go out and look at everything." No, he was 16. So he sent me pictures back, not of them walking Memorial, the White House, construction sites, big holes in the ground. That's.
See, you knew what he was going to do. Well, enjoy and let us know if there's anything new in the field of concrete when you come back. All right, thank you. Okay.
And that was the end of that.
Yeah. I should be around.
Didn't know this case.
All right, this case has been dismissed. Yeah. Who's here on John Gabriel Gonzalez? All right, Mr. Gonzalez, if you can come forward.
Carry on the front.
Gee, thanks.
Let me just find you on our docket.
I think he's on the add-on judge.
All right, good morning, Mr. Gonzalez. All right, so we are here because my understanding an offer was tendered. Have you received the offer? All right, are you rejecting the offer? Are you rejecting the offer? All right, so you're requesting a jury trial? All right. And counsel, this hasn't been signed by you.
My apologies.
That's okay. And that's okay. And state, how long do you expect this jury trial to last? It's a drug case. Probably 2 days. Okay.
Michael Kilgore, way to go from the village.
All right. And Mr. Gonzalez, have you received all of the discovery and seen it?
No. You've been given an opportunity to review it and look at it, glance and not.
All right. Do you need to look at the state's discovery? Mr. Gonzalez? Do you need to see the state's discovery? Do you need to see the police reports? Do you need to see the drug test?
Yeah.
All right, Mr. Sherman, could you show him the state's file in the box?
Sure.
All right, so once you look at that, then we'll come back, okay? Yeah, hold on. Andy Maldonado. All right, so we're here for discovery.
Yes, good morning, Judge.
Good morning. And it was a discovery related to a detective, is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor, the prosecutor that has this case is out with COVID, Mr. Villarreal. And I was talking with Catherine, excuse me. Anyway, I was talking with Catherine about it, and the discovery issue on the detective is continues to develop. She's the subject of a protective order now and some other things that are going on. And so I sent a letter and then I reminded her, she put it in the file. But obviously without Mr. Villarreal, we still haven't received a plea offer, so.
All right, so is that the only outstanding discovery? Is there any CPS records involved in this?
I'm not sure.
I don't think so, Judge. None that we've been made aware of and none that we've been able to find.
But is the complainant alleged to be a relative?
No,
All right. And does he have any children?
no.
All right, so there's probably no CPS records. Ms. Ferguson, can we call this back in January, the third week of January for discovery?
Yes, ma'am, the 19th.
All right, so we're gonna come back on the 19th, Mr. Maldonado,
Yes, ma'am.
and we'll see where we are with regards to discovery.
Thank you very much, Judge.
You're welcome. All right, and the parties on Rafael Guerra, just let me know when you're ready. You ready? Did you get it? Mr. Jimenez, did you have a chance to confer with the state?
I did, Your Honor.
All right, and they're aware of the reason why he did not appear?
They are, Your Honor.
All right, and do they have any objection?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. All right, Mr. Guerra, this is what I'm going to tell you. When people don't show up for court, I do issue warrants because they know what time they're supposed to show up. They know they were supposed to be. You, and you're not the only one who does it, need to stop letting other people be your point of contact, because be it your father, your mother, your brother, your girlfriend, your sister, your cousin, whoever it may be, they are not the people who have to appear in court. And when someone calls them and tells them this is your court date and they don't pass that message on, they don't get in trouble. It's all on you. You understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
So I'm signing the motion, and Ms. Ferguson I'm going to give him a reset date right here so he'll know when it is. It's on Raphael Guerra. It's an off docket. The cause number is 2022 CR 10784. Do we already have a set date in the system?
I can check that. No, ma'am, because he was a bug.
All right, let's give him a date at the end of January.
Can do January. January 30th.
All right, so you got to get a reset form for January 30th, and I'm going to notate in the file that one, I spoke to you, so you know, be here on January 30th at 9 a.m. I require everyone to be on time. You understand? State on this case involving Raphael Guerra, do you all want a no contact order with the complainant?
Yes.
So there's to be no contact with Stephanie Martinez and Clarissa Grego. So you're not to have any contact with them. You understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
And were you previously on GPS or anything?
Oh, Your Honor.
Okay. If you violate the court's order, what's going to end up happening is a warrant will be issued, and we will be hearing this motion with you being in custody. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, do you know if there are any alcohol issues or drug issues with your client?
None, Your Honor.
Okay. All right. And Norma, you said January when?
The 30th.
All right, so we'll see you back on January 30th.
Thank you for your consideration, Judge.
You're welcome. If you could put that in the system. Mr. Gonzalez, did you have a chance to review the state's file? Well, yes, go ahead. No, go ahead.
He has gone through it ad nauseum, and he doesn't want me to be his lawyer. That's where we really are.
All right, so Mr. Gonzalez, here's the thing. You've asked to see the state's file. You need to sit there and read the state's file.
I don't, but he was even giving me the chance to see it. Like, he's just been cursing. Like, ever since I first met him, he's just been.
Okay, so here's the thing. We're going to start over this relationship at zero. And when I say it's zero, starting this relationship, it's Mr. Gonzalez, here's your attorney, Mr. Sherman. Y'all just met today. And what I want you all to do is to sit in the box, and Mr. Sherman, if you'll let him read the file.
I will.
Just sit there and read the file. And then after you've read it, if you have any questions, then I'm sure he will answer them. In this court, I know tempers can run high because it's a felony court in the nature of the cases. This is a drug case. Sometimes tempers run high in the drug case, but I do require that everyone treats people with respect, whether you respect them or not. Everyone be kind to everybody, whether you're faking it or not, because that makes the day go easier and it keeps the temperature at this level, because these are important cases. They're felony cases. In cases here, people are looking at anywhere from prison all the way up to the death penalty. So I understand. So if you all would be kind to me, sit in the box and read the state's file, okay?
This one.
All right, so you guys have just met.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. Who's here on Michael Kilgore? All right, and where's Mr. Kilgore? Oh, come up, Mr. Kilgore. All right, what is happening with Mr.
Judge,
Kilgore?
I have a plea offer.
Mhm.
My client would like a little time to consider his options. State has agreed to keep that open until the next setting, whenever that be. And at that time, I'm sure there'll be a plea or we'll go to trial.
All right, and let's see. Do you have all the discovery? All right, Mr. Kilgore, how old are you? All right, you're 27. So is this something for you to think about, or is this something for you to call other people about?
There's something for me to think about. So I said I got a business out there.
Okay, no. I mean, I don't want to know the offer, but I'm just trying to figure out in my mind how much time you need, okay?
Not long.
All right, do you want to come back next week then?
Sure.
Okay. Ms. Ferguson, can we put him on for next week? Is it possible? Do we have any room?
Let me check now.
We'll see if we have any room. If not, we may have to do it this week. If you want to come back this week.
Come back Friday.
Yeah, we can.
I'm here coming Friday. Anyway.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, can we put him down for Friday?
Friday, I can do Friday.
All right, so we'll put you down for Friday, the 16th, okay?
All right. Have you excused now?
Yes. All right, thank you.
Mr. Kilgore.
Eric Johnson, it's a plea. I'm about to do it. Just get this-
Ryan Houghton,
There's an attorney on the side. That's like-
all right, good morning. So has he spoken to his immigration attorney?
They still need to find the steps.
We have confirmed with the state.
Yeah.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, on Houghton, can I have a PTD date, please?
Yes, ma'am. We can come back on,
Admonitions.
we can do the 2nd of February.
All right, so on what's gonna happen on that date, you need to have all of your paperwork filled out.
He's coming to the office right now.
Okay, you're on it. I appreciate that.
Of course, I understand you're on.
All right, we'll see you back on February 2nd.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. You're welcome. All right, who's here on Daniel Munoz? Yes. Are you ready to proceed? All right, Mr. Munoz. All right, the
ATR, we're ready.
court is calling 2019 CR 4485, State of Texas versus Daniel Munoz. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Michelle Hayden for the state.
Defense. And are you Mr. Munoz?
Thank you.
Mr. Munoz, I'm going to show you what's entitled Motion to Revoke Community Supervision. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? Are you the same Daniel Munoz who was placed on community supervision in 2019 CR 4485 for the offense of violation of sex offender registration on August 22nd, 2019 for a term of 3 years? Is that you? Is that you? All right, state.
Violated condition number 1. On or about the 3rd day of January 2022 in Bexar County, Texas, the defendant Daniel Munoz committed the offense of violation of sex offender registration in violation of condition number 1.
How do you plead to that? True or not true? State,
We will waive the other violation.
any objections to the state's waivers?
No objection, Your Honor.
Did you understand by pleading true to violation of condition number 1, the court could find it true, grant the motion and sentence you up to 2 years in the prison? Did you understand? Knowing that, do you still wish to plead true to violation of condition number 1? Court will find violation of condition number 1 true. Is there an agreement?
Yes, Your Honor. The agreement is to revoke and sentence the defendant to 2 years in prison, but we will TIC the new case, CM number 95933, violation of sex offender registration.
Is that the agreement?
It is.
Are you asking the court to follow that agreement?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Munoz, are you asking the court to follow that agreement? Are you waiving your right to appeal? All right, the court will follow your agreement. The court will grant the motion, sentence you to 2 years in the prison, taking consideration night mag number 95933. Give you credit for any time served, and there's to be chapter 62 registration. Is there anything else from either side with regards to sentencing?
No, Your Honor.
No, Your Honor.
Showing you what's entitled trial court certification of defendant's rights to appeal. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it and did you sign it? Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waived your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand? And because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand? All right, good luck to you. We can go off the record. Mr. Munoz, you know you have to register. So you have a choice to make in your life. You cannot register and spend the remainder of your life in and out of jails, in and out of prison. At some point, you're going to end up being habitual. And at some point, your minimum is going to be 25 years. And at some point, if you continue on your path, you're going to end up in prison for the rest of your life. So you got to make a decision. The law says you have to register, you have to register. End of story. There's no ands, ifs, or buts about it. You understand? All right, good luck to you. Who's here on Brianna Mitchell? All right, Brianna Mitchell.
Judge, before you start, just to let you know, I've already checked with the prosecutor about putting dates from federal incarceration on the record.
Yes.
And I don't know if you wanted paper documents from the court file, or if I just read the dates on the record.
You can read the dates on the record, but make sure that the clerks have them.
Okay.
And you're an officer of the court, so of course I
will provide them.
accept your word as truth, Mr. Stateson. Yeah. Brenda, it's always nice to see Mr. Stateson. All right, court is going to call 2020 CR 4098A, State of Texas versus Brianna Renee Mitchell. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Brittany Sparks.
Defense?
The attorney of record, Monica Guerrero. I'm covering for Ms. Guerrero, Joseph Stateson. Ms. Mitchell, would you give this judge permission for me to do the plea in case of Monica Guerrero?
All right, I'm gonna need you to speak up, okay? All right, are you Brianna Mitchell?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, I'm showing you what's entitled motion to revoke community supervision. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes.
Are you the same Brianna Renee Mitchell who was placed on community supervision in 2020 CR 4098A for the offense of manslaughter on December 10th, 2021 for a term of 10 years? Is that you?
Yes.
All right, state.
Yes, Judge, violated condition number 1. On or about the 8th day of September 2022 in Bexar County, Texas, the defendant Brianna Renee Mitchell committed the offense of possession of controlled substance, penalty group 1, in violation of condition number 1.
How do you plead to that? True or not true?
True.
Violated condition number 1. On or about the 8th day of September 2022 in Bexar County, Texas, the defendant Brianna Renee Mitchell committed the offense of failed to ID fugitive intent to give false information in violation of condition number 1.
How do you plead to that? True or not true?
True.
Violated condition number 1. On or about the 8th day of September 2022 in Bexar County, Texas, the defendant Brianna Renee Mitchell committed the offense of evade arrest or detention in violation of condition number 1.
How do you plead to that? True or not true?
True.
We'll waive the other violations.
Any objections to the state's waivers?
None.
All right, did you understand by pleading true to violations 1, 1, and 1, the court could find it true, grant the motion, and sentence you up to 10 years in prison and up to a $1,500 fine. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Knowing that, do you still wish to plead true to violations 1, 1, and 1?
Yes.
The court will find 1, 1, and 1 true. Is there an agreement?
Yes, Judge, we're asking that you grant the motion, revoke her probation, and sentence her to 10 years in TDC. In addition, Judge will be taking into consideration cause numbers 2022 CR 10345B, County Court cause number 692652, County Court cause number 692653.
Is that the agreement, defense?
It is, Your Honor, and I believe I may have made a clerical typo on the certificate of appeal. I may have put the nightmare, I may have put the case in TIC instead of the NPR. That's my mistake.
Yes. No, I'll correct that. Is there any objections to the court correcting that with the proper cause number?
None from the defense. And if I may put something else in the record, Your Honor.
Yes.
This offense was created during a time where Ms. Mitchell was on federal release, supervised release. She has federal back time, and post the offense, she did time in federal prison. I have some dates if I could put those on the record.
Yes.
She was in custody in federal prison or federal custody on April 18th, 2016, where she was sentenced November 17th, 2016. And she was not released until April 3rd, 2020. When she was released, April 3rd, 2020, it was supervised release. And there was a revocation hearing. And she has federal custody time from February 18th, 2022 to April 13th, 2022. And we ask that she be given credit for federal time in addition to the Barry County time.
So you're asking for credit from April 18th, 2016 to April 13th, 2020?
We are, and I did explain to my client that that is prior to the offense date, but she was still in custody post that also, and that it's the court's discretion to award time.
So with regards to the dates from April 18th, 2016 to April 13th, 2020, was this case open on a motion to revoke or no?
I don't believe it was on a motion to revoke.
All right, was this case pending?
I have to. I can
So-
check one moment, Your Honor.
Okay, so that's what I want to know about that. But with regards to the February 18th to 2020, I'm sorry, February 18th, 2022 to April 13th, 2022, this was pending, correct?
Yes.
All right, so she will definitely receive credit for those dates. I just need to check on the April 18th date. Can you look for that too?
So that was.
So when this case was on the system, what date was that again?
January. And then she was running. 12-10.
All right. Well, it appears, Ms. Sparks,
Yes, Judge.
on this case, I'm being informed by the clerk that this case was actually on the system January 2nd, 2016.
Yes, Judge, that's what our computer says.
Okay, so we can go back on the record for now. So are you asking the court to follow this agreement?
Yes.
Are you waiving your right to appeal?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, then the court is finding 1, 1, and 1 true. The court will follow your agreement, revoke, sentence you to 10 years in the prison, take in consideration 2022 CR 10345B, County Court cause number 692652, 692653, give you credit for any time served, and the court will give you the credit served in federal custody from April 18, 2016 to April 3rd, 2020, and February 18th, 2022 to April 13th, 2022. Is there anything else from either side with regards to sentencing?
No, Judge. Nothing from defense.
All right. For some reason, there's no affirmative finding on this of a
On the
deadly weapon.
original?
Yes. Let me see something, just one moment. I don't know what the underlying facts of this case were. Just give me 1 second. I'm assuming a weapon was involved, be it a vehicle or something else. All right, yeah, it's involved a gun.
It appears that my client appears that it was with the co-defendant who had a gun, her client didn't have a gun. But that was not negotiated with the district attorney's office with Marcus prior to this.
All right, because it, I mean, according to the, and I know this is before your time, Mr. Statesman, but according to the indictment, it says that Brianna Mitchell did recklessly cause the death of an individual, namely, the complainant by discharging a deadly weapon. So this is pre this attorney, Ms. Mitchell, but that's what's in the paperwork. So there's going to be an affirmative finding. So there's an affirmative finding of a deadly weapon. I'm going to show you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes.
All right, because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, because you waived your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes.
Because it's a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand?
Yes.
All right, good luck. We can go off the record. I saw in this case where parenting classes were ordered for you. So here's the thing, someone else is taking care of your children or your child. When you are released from prison, and at some point you will be, do not go up to the house acting as though, here I am, let me put my rules in place and disregard whatever rules have been set for your children. You understand? You're going to have to humble yourself. All right, good luck to you.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank
Just
you.
checking in on Charles Jones. I got your email.
Who's here on Jared Johnson?
Did anything happen with him today? Because my case still isn't indicted.
You just have to, the judge is asking, just Mr. Wilson, Mr. Wilson.
No, they swore him in.
Okay, I missed that, sorry.
No, Caroline is on it. If she hands me something, that means she's done everything.
Usually Judge Boyd will ask for you at the time.
All right, the court is calling 2022 CR 5992, State of Texas versus Jared Lane Johnson. Could I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Brittany Sparks.
Defense? Defense?
Sorry, Tobin Schaefer.
And are you Mr. Johnson?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, I'm showing you the discovery acknowledgement. Have you received all the discovery in this case, and did you review it with your client?
I did.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Mr. Johnson, I'm showing you what's entitled Application for Deferred Adjudication or Community Supervision. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you sign it? Next, I'm showing you what's entitled True Bill of Indictment. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
I do, Your Honor.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
Judge, I believe we're going forward on count 1 and waiving count 2.
Any objection?
No, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Johnson, I'm going to show you what's entitled Court Admonishments and Defendants Waivers and Affidavit of Admonitions. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand you're charged with the offense of possession with intent to deliver a controlled substance? Penalty group 2, 4 grams to 400 grams. That's a first-degree felony. The range of punishment is anywhere from 5 to 99 years or life in prison and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand? If you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea bargain agreement. If for any reason the court doesn't follow your agreement and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand? Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state will call and the right to remain silent? Did you understand by entering this plea, you were giving up those rights?
Yes, ma'am.
And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea bargain agreement in this case? Did you understand if the court were to grant your application for deferred adjudication, if for any reason your deferred adjudication were revoked, the court could find you guilty and sentence you up to life in prison and up to a $10,000 fine? Did you understand? Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
He has, Your Honor.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
He does, Your Honor.
Do you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Johnson, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
No, ma'am.
Has anyone promised you anything other than the plea bargain agreement?
No, ma'am.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. Showing you the plea bargain page. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
According to the plea bargaining agreement, there's a $1,500 fine. State recommends deferred adjudication. There's to be $57 to SAPD for drug testing. Did you understand that to be the plea? Defense?
Yes, Your Honor.
State?
Yes, Judge.
Showing you the paragraph entitled waiver of appeal paragraph. Did you review that paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in both places?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand? Counsel, have there been any such motions?
No, Your Honor.
Next, I'm showing you outside the agreement. The state is requesting that your deferred adjudication be for a term of 5 years and there be a TAP evaluation. Did you understand those are recommendations from the state and the court does not have to follow those recommendations?
Yes, ma'am.
Then the offense is charged in count one. How do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
I marked it in 2022.
State any evidence?
Yes, Judge. State Exhibit 1 and all attachments.
Reviews them and no objection, Your Honor.
Mr. Johnson, I'm showing you what's entitled waiver and consent to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it and did you sign it in all the appropriate places? Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state will call and the right to remain silent? Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports, but most importantly, there will be no live testimony? Did you understand? Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments and review the same. All right, after reviewing states exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there's sufficient evidence to find you guilty. The court will defer finding of guilt as you've applied for deferred adjudication. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
Yes, Your Honor.
Anything you want to present on behalf of your client?
Judge, I think he's come to the court understanding that he needs to kind of change his lifestyle. And this has made a big mistake here, Judge, so he's asking me to follow.
All right. You made bad choices, not mistakes, right?
So
All right, when you're drug tested today, what are the results going to be?
I'm gonna come out. Yeah.
All right, have you been using?
No, ma'am.
All right, so we're going to do a UA today, and then I'll come back with sentencing.
Okay. Okay.
All right, do you need water or anything?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay, all right, if you could remain in court and counsel, if you can get him a cup of water, I think we have cups in the back.
Okay. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Are we ready on John Gonzalez yet or no? Mr. Gonzalez, are you still reading?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. All right, and do we have an interpreter yet for? Yes, he's here. Hi. Thank you. All right, Aiden Silva,
Put your mask on, don't be talking to anyone.
All right. Can you put in those files? Because I saw that there was a bond forfeiture on this case. Was that recalled by some other judge? It's Young Silva. It's 2021 CR 9571.
So I can tell you about the bond forfeiture, Judge.
Okay.
So before I was hired, I done had a court appointed attorney. He got no notice of the indictment and his court setting. And so he missed court. He came in and hired me. I can't remember if I talked to you or if there was a visiting judge.
Okay.
And
I just wanted to make sure because I like to have everything on the docket sheet.
Sure.
Okay. Ah, see, I reinstated. Brenda, I recall that like that was yesterday because my mind is a steel trap. Of course. All right. So has he spoken to the immigration attorney?
So we applied to the immigration attorney. We turned in the paperwork. We're still waiting to hear. We have not heard from him.
Is that the immigration attorney with Mac?
Yeah.
All right, Norma, can you see what's happening with that? Because that's been since November.
Is this with Mac?
Yes. So we're gonna make sure he has an immigration attorney.
We did the paperwork and
Okay,
that was with, sorry.
all right, and where are we on discovery?
We were good on discovery. There was an issue with a purported alias of Mr. Silva, but we figured that all out.
All right, and with regards to offers, has the state been able to tender an offer?
They have not tendered an offer.
All right, or is this criminal trial division or family law?
Criminal trial.
All right, criminal trial division?
Daniel, I was talking.
Oh. I don't know. Do you know when you all will be able to make an offer on Aiden Silva?
It was Daniel. I was talking.
Are we missing any discovery or anything?
No, there's no discovery missing. We just. Essentially, we have a very upset complainant and a very upset defendant. And so there seems to be a very, very wide range. And so there's no formal.
So there's a lot of emotions.
Yes. And so we're trying to kind of get through the emotions to get to a point where.
And Judge Daniel's on the phone with the victim right now. So I don't know if we could just call this back up in a couple minutes when he gets back.
Okay. Well, this is what I'll do because he's on the phone with the complainant and he really can't do anything until he speaks to his immigration attorney.
Okay.
So what we're going to do is we're going to reschedule this. Norma, could you put this in the 4th week of January, that week of January 23rd?
Yes, ma'am.
And if you could hang around with your client, because we're going to make sure that the immigration attorney knows they need to contact him before that date.
Okay.
You can do the 24th.
All right, so we're going to come back on January 24th. And Mr. Silva, we're going to have you remain in court until we make sure that you have the name of your immigration attorney. All right, is there anything else?
No, Your Honor.
All right, thank you so much for coming down.
My pleasure, Judge.
Thank you, have a good one.
And Judge, may I approach for your signature?
Yes, you may.
Thank you.
Sure. And Norma, you said the 24th, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, have a good one.
Thank you.
Who's here on Gregory Gonzalez? Good morning.
This is a Daniel case. Do you want my client to come up?
Yes, have you conferred with Daniel?
So yes, I have.
All right, Mr. Gonzalez, come forward. Gregory Gonzalez. All right, so he had a plea deadline date. So where are we? Is he, does he wish to have a jury trial?
No, Judge, we are going to be accepting the plea. I checked my file though, and I noticed that the discovery had not been downloaded. I had been operating off the courts or the DA's file, interviewing the case with him. And so I got the request in to get the discovery downloaded, but the system says it's going to take 72 hours for it to get processed. So if we can have a reset, we'll come back. And he's going to be going into custody as a result of this plea. So if we can have some time to get his affairs in order, and we can sign a jury waiver if necessary, whatever you want.
All right, we'll come back on the 16th and do the plea, and then the court will consider giving him some time to get his affairs in order.
Wonderful. Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, Ms. Ferguson will give you a reset form. All right, thank you. And here's the form. Erica Rodriguez. And probation, this is a probation application.
It's a record, Judge.
Yes. All right, the court is calling 2018 CR 12678, State of Texas versus Erica Monique Rodriguez. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Brittany Sparks.
Defense.
John Robertson from Ms. Rodriguez.
And are you Ms. Rodriguez? Counsel, I'm showing you the discovery acknowledgement. Have you received all the discovery in this case, and did you review it with your client? Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Ms. Rodriguez, I'm showing you what's entitled application for community supervision. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it, and did you sign it? Counsel, I'm sorry. Next, I'm showing you what's entitled true bill of indictment. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment? State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
No, Judge. And Judge, I'm sorry. I
Oh,
forgot.
no
I
problem.
think
Let me
it's count
see.
one.
Two.
Oh, count
Count
two.
two.
Just focus on what you're trying to
Waiting.
get.
All right, any objections to the waivers of counts 1, 3, and 4?
No, no.
All right, I'm going to show you what's entitled court admonishments and defendants waivers and affidavit of admonitions. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in all the appropriate places? And Ms. Sparks, I know it's just you and Daniel here, and Daniel's out. If you want to continue to confer
Okay.
and just answer when I need a response from you.
Okay, thank
You're welcome. All right. Did you understand that what you're charged with in count 2 is possession of a controlled substance penalty group 1 gram to 4 grams? That's a 3rd-degree felony. The range of punishment is anywhere from 2 to 10 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand? If you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your agreement. If for any reason the court does not follow your agreement and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you, and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand? Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call them the right to remain silent? Did you understand by entering this plea bargain agreement, you were giving up those rights? And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea bargain agreement in this case? Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
Yeah.
Do you believe she has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against her?
I do.
Do you believe she's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
Yes, sir.
Ms. Rodriguez, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea? Has anyone promised you anything other than the plea? Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented? Are you a U.S. citizen? Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived her right to jury trial. Showing you the plea bargain page. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? According to the plea, state is proceeding on count 2. Punishment is to be assessed at 5 years in the prison. State recommends community supervision. They will take in consideration County Court Cause number 636-158, 697-151. Did you understand that to be the plea?
Yes, ma'am.
Defense?
Yes, Your Honor.
State?
Yes, Judge.
Showing you the paragraph entitled waiver of appeal paragraph. Did you review that paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in both places?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand? Counselor Devine, such motions.
I know.
Next, I'm showing you outside the plea bargain agreement. State is requesting that your community supervision be for a term of 5 years. There'll be a TAP evaluation and 120 hours of community service restitution. Did you understand those are recommendations from the state and the court does not have to follow those recommendations? Then to the offense that's charged in count 2, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest? State, any evidence?
Yes, Judge, States Exhibit 1 and all attachments.
Objection.
All right, Ms. Rodriguez, I'm showing you what's entitled waiver and consent to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, Your Honor.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call and the right to remain silent? Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports and lab reports? But most importantly, there will be no live testimony. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments and review the same. All right, after reviewing states exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty, and the court will find you guilty. Are we proceeding with sentencing?
Yes, Your Honor.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
Your Honor, I asked the court to follow the agreement. Erica's, we talked about this. She's got some changes to make in her life, and she's going to use this as an opportunity to make some positive change, kind of head in a better direction for her and her son.
All right. How many children do you have?
Now, 4 total.
What are their ages?
One's 8, but he's in Washington, with his adopted family, and then I have 2 girls, 17-year-old, an 18-year-old, and my 3-year-old son.
And who is the 3-year-old with?
Right now, he's with my mom and dad. But my mom recently got, she's in a wheelchair now, so he's trying to take care of him, and so I'm able to come out and continue being mom to him that I have been since he's been born. I'm all he knows.
Well,
I'm trying.
here's the thing. You haven't been a good mom to him. And sometimes we have to take stock of our life. And if you take stock of your life, you haven't been a good mom to him, because otherwise you wouldn't be here for this. Is Child Protective Services involved?
Yes.
Who's your Child Protective Services attorney?
She doesn't have one yet, Judge. It's a fresh case. I actually spoke to the caseworker yesterday. They haven't filed paperwork yet,
Okay.
but it sounds like there may be a situation. I talked a little bit with Erica this morning about it, that they may be a temporary custody situation where they get her on a plan
Mhm.
and with the goal of getting the child back with her. But it's kind of at the beginning of that stage. She hadn't had an attorney appointed yet.
Okay. How far did you go in school?
11.
Why didn't you graduate?
Because I got pregnant with my oldest.
So what have you been doing? Because your oldest is 18 now. So what have you been doing to better yourself employment wise?
I was working with my boyfriend's mom because she owns a warehouse. And I've been working and helping just like with shipment and stuff like that. And
Is this Isaiah Salinas?
no,
Okay. Who is this boyfriend?
Kyle Herrera,
Kyle what?
Herrera.
Herrera.
Okay. Does he have criminal history?
No,
Does he have a drug issue?
no.
Do you have a drug issue? So, and have you been with Kyle while you've had this drug issue?
Yes, but he's more like because he's working, like it makes me want to work, like he's like a positive influence in my life.
Here's the thing. This is what I've discovered on my time on the planet. I tell everybody I'm in the twilight of my life or the fall of my life because I don't expect to live to be 200. It'd be nice if I did. But if everybody lives to be 200, then that means that we can't retire till we're 160. Who wants to do that, right? But this is what I've discovered. I've discovered that usually people who have the same interests gravitate towards each other. For example, if somebody invites me to a lunch with marathon runners, I'll show up because I'm supporting maybe somebody else who's a marathon runner. But we're not going to hang out on a day-to-day basis. We're not going to discuss what type of shoes they wear. You know why? Because I'm not a marathon runner. That's just not what I do. When people have drug addictions, usually the people they're with have drug addictions or either they enable them. So I know you're not going to sit here and try to tell me that Kyle doesn't use drugs.
If he does, he hasn't done it around me. I haven't really been like physically prior to me getting arrested. I haven't wasn't with him. It was just me and my son. It's always me and my son.
Have you done drugs around Kyle?
Yes, ma'am.
And what did he say?
That's part of the reason why I haven't been around him.
All right. And I'm not going to allow you to be around him now. And I'm going to give you some advice. And this is me coming from a standpoint of somebody who's done child protective services cases where I've represented children and I've represented parents. Your main focus should be on getting your child back.
Yes, ma'am.
Your main focus should not be on relationships because guess what? You're not ready for a relationship. And you know why you're not ready for a relationship? Because you're in the throes of your addiction. And when you're in the throes of your addiction, you're choosing the wrong people. You're making bad choices. And the problem with you is when you make a bad choice, your choice is impacting your child. It's impacting your mom. It's impacting your father because now they got to raise a 3-year-old. And I know they didn't intend to have that happen in their life. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
So how often were you using drugs?
I would say 3 times a week.
All right. And what drugs were you using? Anything other than meth?
I would take Xanax, but that was for anxiety, like half a bar today.
Okay. And have you ever had to do illegal things in order to obtain money for drugs?
No.
And the reason why I'm asking you this is because I'm trying to think of a great program for you because CPS is not giving a child back to somebody who's in the throes of their addiction. And you're going to need a support system. And your support system cannot just be your mom and your dad, because sometimes moms and dads enable people because they want to see the best in their child. They don't want to see, oh, could she be using drugs? Could she not be using drugs? They'll lean towards, no, she's not using. So that's why I'm trying to understand. And the only courts that are available for treatment right now is Esperanza Court. And Esperanza Court are people who have been maybe victims of sex trafficking, people who have sold their bodies for different things. So that's why I'm trying to figure out, because that's the only court that will be available for you. So that's why I asked. So the questions I ask, I'm not trying to embarrass anyone, but I need to get this information so I can get the right conditions for you so that you can be successful and not end up going to prison. Okay, so let's start back over. So have you done anything illegal in order to obtain drugs? And if you want to ask her that in private and then just tell me the answer, counsel, because I think you know what question I'm asking.
Judge, I don't think so. I think it's more like the original offense conduct was.
Okay.
I don't believe as far as what you're requesting.
Okay. All right. So what are you planning on doing with your life? How are you planning to support yourself?
When I get, I'm actually kind of excited about getting, I feel like this is a new start for a new beginning for me and my son. For myself, of course, I want to start working. I want to be part of society. I want to be a role model to my daughter and my youngest daughter, who seems to be following in my footsteps. I'm kind of excited I feel like I'm starting over. I'm getting a chance to start over and change my people, places, and things.
My file,
I don't do that. I won't
he goes.
be able to continue.
All right, I need everybody to whisper.
You would have to wait till she calls you.
Okay.
All right. So you want to explain to me, and I have no problem with people having tattoos, but I'm always interested. You know, what does it mean? So what is the tattoo on your chest about? The big one, yes.
This is one of the first tattoos I got. I kind of honestly regret all of my tattoos.
But what is the chest tattoo? What is that?
It says time is money.
Okay. And then the other tattoos, what are those all about?
This is for my sister, my baby's dad that passed away. It says dream to shine. And my friend that passed away. And names.
Okay. Well, I mean, here's the thing. Sometimes you can regret that you did different things, but the key is to make changes so it doesn't happen again.
Yes.
All right, this is what the court is going to do. Court is going to sentence you to 5 years in the prison, suspended and probated for 5 years. Take in consideration County Court Cause number 636. 158 697 151. 120 hours of community service restitution. 40 of those hours will be waived if you provide proof of the COVID vaccination. The court is not requiring you to get the COVID vaccination, but if you do with the booster, 40 of those hours will be waived. Parenting classes and the remaining of the hours will be waived once you complete parenting classes. If CPS gives you parenting classes, which they should, that can count towards this. There's going to be CPS compliance. No unsupervised contact with minors. No contact with Isaiah Salinas or Cal Herrera. There's to be regular reporting by Zoom or in person. I'm going to want field visits 3 times per month until further notice. If probation wants one of those field visits or wants the field visits to count for her reporting, it can. I'm going to want the UA hotline, and with the UA hotline, she needs to call every day and at least be tested 1 time per week. And probation, if you feel like she is accomplishing things, then we can taper that off. But when I say taper it off, we don't go from she's testing every week to she's only testing once a month. And usually you all will send me a notice and I'll put the changes in there. Proof of employment within 30 days. There's to be no employment as a home health care provider or with minors. You're going to either need to get your GED or get some kind of trade school so you can better yourself, okay? And I'm going to want 90 sober meetings in 90 days. We'll do a TAP evaluation out of custody. I know the TAP evaluation may recommend inpatient treatment, but whatever TAP recommends, I want her to start with intensive outpatient treatment. If that doesn't work, then we're going to be looking at inpatient treatment. And if you miss your TAP evaluation appointment, what's going to end up happening is a warrant's going to be issued, and one or two things are going to happen. Either you're going to end up going to prison, or either you're going to end up sitting in jail to do the TAP. So this is a time for you to make choices. All right. You're welcome. Let me ask you, when you're released, do you have a place to stay?
Yes, ma'am.
Where will that be?
With my mom and dad.
With who?
My mom and dad.
Here's the problem with that.
Oh.
Child Protective Services, I don't know what they're going to plan, their plan is going to be, but usually their plan is you can't stay there. So I think there's a program.
Judge,
Yes.
The CPS worker told me yesterday that they're probably going to take temporary custody. She wants me to let her know what happened today, whether she's going to be sentenced from the bench or not.
Mhm.
So I can let her know that. I think they'll probably take temporary custody of the child, that way she'll have a presence.
Okay. Well, I'm not your CPS attorney, but this is what I can tell you. Your child is 3 years old. You will find on the CPS side that when a 3-year-old or 1-year-old is placed in care, in foster care, everybody wants it because it's a cute baby. And they feel, and they want it. So, well, I say it, they want the child because everybody loves the little babies, right? So you're going to have to make sure that you do everything that's asked of you. And I don't know, they may decide that the baby can stay with your parents, but you can't live there. So we're back to the point. If you are not allowed to live with your parents because the child is there, do you have a place to stay?
Honestly.
All right, probation, is there, can you look into a sober living house for her? Yes. So I'm going to put here, defendant to reside at sober living house. And I think there's a Victory Outreach. There are a couple that have that. Okay.
I do have my aunt, if the CPS goes to where I can't stay with my mom and dad, I do have my aunt, which is my mom's sister, that I can stay with. She's blind and deaf, but if that doesn't work out with my mom and dad, I go there, but or you show the probation.
All right, probation, this is what we'll do. If she can get placed in a sober living house directly from jail, then I want her in a sober living house. If it's going to take some time, she can reside with her aunt for 2 months, but then she needs to go to a sober living house because I need you with somebody who knows what addiction looks like and not enable. You understand? All right. Is there anything else with regards to sentencing? Is there anything else you need from the court to be successful? Probation, is there anything else she needs?
No.
All right, Ms. Rodriguez, I'm going to show you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it and did you sign it?
Yes,
Counsel, because this is a plea bargaining agreement, because I followed your plea bargaining agreement, And because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand? Because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand? Yeah. All right, good luck to you. We can get off the record. I always ask a lot of questions because I want to make sure that the conditions of probation are tailored for you as an individual, not in general, okay? All right, do better. You're welcome. Who's here on Samuel Rodriguez? All right. What is happening with this case?
Pretrial diversions, mental health, pretrial diversion.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, can I have a setting on this for mental health pretrial diversion?
Yes, ma'am. I can do. I can do February 6th.
All right, we'll see you back on February 6th.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Your Honor, may I approach?
Just 1 second, going in order.
Daniel?
Okay.
All right, who's here? John Gabriel Gonzalez. Are you guys ready? Mr. Gonzalez.
Someone from Mr. Gonzalez. I figured it.
All right, Mr. Gonzalez, you've had a chance to review the state's file?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So are you requesting a jury trial?
Yes, ma'am.
I'm sorry.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, can I have a jury trial date on Mr. John Gonzalez? It should take 2 days.
Yes, ma'am.
I have a question.
Yes.
Within this time, am I able to get another lawyer or?
You can hire an attorney if you wish to hire an attorney.
We can come back on the 24th or March 7th.
January 24th?
I mean, January 24th.
All right, we'll be back on January 24th.
Thank you, ma'am.
Mr. Gonzalez, your jury trial will be on January 24th. You will be brought over for trial dressed in whatever clothing you have at the jail. If you wish to be dressed in something else, you'll have to do an exchange form and give that to your attorney. And if there's an issue with regards to the clothing exchange, let the court know. Your plea deadline date has expired. The court will not accept any plea bargain agreements in this case without good cause. Otherwise, you'll have to plea open to the court. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, we'll see you back on the 24th for your jury trial.
Gonzalez.
Yes.
Thank you.
Gonzalez.
Gregory Gonzalez. Who's here on Gregory Gonzalez?
I am, Your Honor.
Yes.
I just wanted to clarify. I was under the impression you were calling us back January 16th, but you're calling us back on Friday?
Yes, for him to do the plea.
I'm not available Friday. I am tied up. Is there, then I'm out the last 2 weeks because I'm kind of come back the first week of January.
No, I mean, are you able to come back tomorrow?
Tomorrow I'm in for district court.
The 19th?
The 19th is when I'm out.
So why can't you be here on Friday?
Because I've got a school function with the kids. I'm the room mom.
Oh, you have to do that. And why can't you be here? I mean, you can't have a function with children if the room mom is not there.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
That's okay. And the 15th?
The 15th,
Mhm.
tomorrow,
Yes.
I'm in for district court.
All right. Are you able to do it by Zoom?
Yes, I can.
All right. So where's your, Norma, can we bring them back on the 15th by Zoom for a plea?
Sure. Yes, ma'am.
All right.
And then just a reminder, this is a custody case. He'll be going into custody. So then would we revisit when he
Yes,
surrenders?
at that time.
Okay, perfect. Thank you, Your Honor. I am sorry for all the conflict.
No problem. Lamonte Singleton.
So for Thursday, right?
All right. What is happening with this case?
I believe it's the first setting, Judge. I confirmed with the state. There's still some discovery that I gotta get through. And the state wants to,
Okay.
I don't want to misspeak, but I think they want to do some more research before they get me an offer.
Yeah,
Judge, it looks like he's has a prior that we still need to get the judgment and everything for that.
All right, and is there any CPS records for this case?
No.
Okay. All right,
No, no lengthy videos either.
okay, she knows I'm gonna ask that, right? All right, Norma, with Mr. Singleton, can we set this in February, please? For discovery?
Yes, ma'am. February 6th.
All
And
right,
if we work something out sooner, Judge, we'll ask to come soon.
all right, yes, you can do that. All right, we'll see you back on February 6th.
And Judge, I wanted to thank you for being understanding the last meetings that I've been having with my dad.
Oh, no problem. I try to be, and I'm always like, people, just let me know.
Thank you.
All right, have a good one, okay? Tombasi inquiry. All right, did you get the discovery for the video footage of the apartment and all of that?
Marcus was unable to find any, we talked yesterday, on it, Judge. And we don't have an offer yet, but it is Marcus's case, Judge.
And he's not gonna be here.
It would be set for, I guess, a plea bargain deadline.
Okay.
It's kind of actually complicated, so I wouldn't want an offer today without.
Thank you. All right, Ms. Ferguson, can you call this case? What are is the fact scenario very complicated or?
It's complicated.
All right.
So I'll leave it at that.
On Mr. Inquiry, can I have the last week in January?
February 2nd.
All right, so we're gonna come back on February 2nd. Stay on Mr. Inquiry. I'm gonna expect an offer to be tendered on February 2nd.
Okay, that's right.
All right, and that will give you enough, you think that's enough time for this complicated case?
We've been talking a lot on it, Judge. I think that's time.
All right, we'll see you on February 2nd.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Kayla Rolag. All right, hello.
Good morning.
Good morning. We're gonna reset your case. Your attorney is unavailable.
Yeah, I know he's doing it.
Yes.
White House cancer.
Yes.
Ma'am, can I please ask you, I know I asked you last time I was in here for my monitors. Can I please have it to tracking because my daughter has a Christmas program tomorrow. I really want to go. I just want to be there for my daughter. And
Oh, you can go to your, well, state.
And I want to be able to take my daughter to daycare and pick her up.
Okay.
It's just all for my daughter.
Okay, no problem. We're gonna figure this out. When is the Christmas thing?
It's tomorrow and she has to be there at 5:45 and it starts at 6:30.
Oh, and I'm assuming you mean PM.
Yeah.
Okay. Not AM.
Yeah.
All right, so this is what we will do. State, do you have any objection to her being allowed to take her daughter to the Christmas pageant? The charge is, I mean, because this charge is abandoning a child.
Sorry, Judge, we just need to look at the current.
Okay.
I don't have enough.
Yeah. No, did he do his UA? Oh, awesome.
Judge, as long as it's not in violation of any no contact order, the state's not opposed.
All right, and what do you feel about her having tracking? Because I don't know why she's on GPS. Does she have?
I would be opposed to going to just tracking at this time. Can you tell me why?
Well, no, this is what we're gonna do. So I'm gonna do the agreed order.
Because I mean, I reported to 2 bondsmen every weekend. I'm paying my weekly payments.
Time out. So we're gonna deal with one thing at a time. All right? And what I'm gonna do is I'll allow you to attend all Christmas programs with your child, okay? But with regards to the other thing, what I'm gonna do is we're gonna recall this and we're gonna recall it for Monday when you can appear by Zoom. Do you think her attorney will be able to appear by Zoom on Monday?
I can check it.
All right, see if he can appear by Zoom or see if he can talk with the state, because I don't know why she's on GPS to begin with for an abandonment case. I didn't put her on GPS. So what we're gonna do is today, I'm gonna allow you to take your daughter to her Christmas pageant.
Thank you
And,
so much.
and that's for tomorrow?
Yeah.
All right, so she's allowed to do that. You don't have a no contact order with her, do you?
No, okay, so when I got arrested for it, there was a no contact order out of CPS, but I have a CPS case because I have my charges reported, the assault charge. And I got court ordered to be with her. He did not want me away from my daughter because I'm the only one that takes care of my daughter. And so then after I got arrested for that, they tried changing it, then I went to court again, family court again, and he ordered my daughter to be with me.
Who is your attorney on the CPS side?
Mark Baum.
Mark Baumberger?
Yeah. And Judge, I think the confusion with the GPS is she has a continuous violence against family that she was booked on until August. That I believe that maybe that's what the GPS is.
All right, so that case that's from August, is there a no contact order in there?
Judge, it's a different thing.
Okay, and that's not the father of the child or anything.
I'm not sure if it's the father of the child. It's a Larry.
Okay, so where is your child now? Who does your child stay with?
She's with me. She stays with me. Right now, she's at daycare.
All right. So there's no objection. So I'll allow you to do the Christmas pageant tomorrow with your daughter. And then we will come back. What day did I say, Norma? Monday?
You said Monday the 19th.
All right, we'll come back Monday the 19th, and that will be by Zoom. And we'll see if we can get your attorney here by Zoom, then we can address other issues.
Okay, thank you so much.
You're welcome. Ms. Ferguson will give you a reset form, and you can put Zoom on there.
Yes, ma'am. Here you go. You grab a pen from there, just sign it. Please defend it, please.
And how, excuse me, what, so the pageant starts, you say at 5:45?
Yeah, she has to be there at 5:45 and then it starts at 6:30.
And do you know when it ends?
I don't know that, but I can't guess that it'd be longer than like 8 p.m.
The trash in 379.
Well, once people do a pageant, Brenda, sometimes they need to go out to dinner to celebrate.
That's right.
I hope you're
Can
gonna
I
bring
do
her
it?
flowers or something. What I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna give, I put on here that you're allowed to attend the pageant from 4:45 to 10 p.m.
Okay.
All children should be in bed by 9, so
She said Michelle's out right
that 10 p.m. will give you that, okay?
Okay, thank you so much.
All right, and you will be back on
I'll figure it out.
the 19th by
now.
Zoom.
Not sure
Okay,
she read
can I
the last
play
name
this
on that
with
one.
Okay.
Sure.
This
Thank
is
you.
my daughter. She just had her birthday
This is
yesterday.
Michelle's
Now
phone
she's
number.
3 years old.
Okay.
Oh, that's so cute.
8:35. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you so much for showing that to me. I appreciate that. Okay, recall 12, 19. Did she give you your reset form? Yes, you can leave.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Sorry.
Okay, here's this.
Can I press her?
Hi, just 1 second. Is this something for me to sign? All right. And then if I can see the parties on Jared Johnson.
I didn't know they did it tonight.
Can I see the file on Benita Garcia? Okay, you're welcome. All right, here's that one that's dismissed. Let me see if I can find it.
I'm just gonna get a copy of.
All right, we're back on the record in 2022 CR 5992, State of Texas versus Garrett Johnson. All right, so I've gotten the results of the UA. And what do you think it is?
Negative.
Yes. I'm always so happy when we have a negative. It is very rare, though. It's like a unicorn.
We had a talk, Judge.
Oh, you did? So
No lying, no lying.
yeah. So, and he knew he was going to be tested, right? Which
He
is
did
what
this
I do.
morning.
Okay.
When he hired me, we talked last week.
Okay. All right.
And they don't always listen, apparently.
I'm glad he listened. All right. Is there anything you wish to say on behalf of your client before I pronounce sentence?
Nothing beyond what I said earlier, Judge, but we are asking publicly.
Okay. So do you have children or no?
I just had my son 2 weeks ago.
Oh.
My first baby,
So what's his date of birth?
11/29.
Okay. All right. You need to remember that date. Sometimes I have people pin, they don't remember it. So does your son live with you?
Yes.
With his mom?
Yes, ma'am.
And what do you do for a living?
Nothing right now, but I'm trying to be a tattoo artist. My buddy's teaching me.
All right. So, you know, the child has to eat.
I know.
Got to have clothes, got to have diapers, unless people are doing the cloth diapers. Are you doing cloth diapers?
Huggies.
Okay. Yeah, no, that's not cloth. Okay. Diapers are expensive. I know. Formula is expensive if you're using formula as well. So you're going to have to get employment while you're working on that. You can't not work because how are you supporting yourself? Who's paying for you to eat? Like who's putting food on the table?
My mom.
And how old are you?
23.
Yeah, no, we don't allow people to support us. We support ourselves. Okay. So does your mom live with you or you live with your
Yeah, I
mom?
live with my mom.
So you and your girlfriend and your son are living with mom. You know what I call that? Playing house. Here's the thing, in this court, I don't allow people to have a soap opera lifestyle. You know what a soap opera lifestyle is? When you watch the soap operas, everybody's supporting themselves, but nobody really has a job. Like even the people who play police officers on soap operas, you only see them if they're having some kind of trying to get viewers in and they have like a serial killer that comes on the show, but they don't work. Nobody works, but everybody's living in their mansion or their nice apartment. So that doesn't happen here. You're going to have to get a job. Okay. So what's the neck tattoo about?
It just says best.
All right. Let me see that. Somebody didn't do the E very well. That looks like something other than blessed. Am I reading that wrong? Is my eyesight really that bad? The S's seem like
They are S's, Judge, as far as I can tell.
they're joined very good. Well, you can't change it now.
Yeah. Yeah.
So what are the hand tattoos about?
It's just a rose and it's a bear.
Why? Why did you get those?
I don't know. I just like them.
Okay. I always ask people why they do what they do. All right, this is what the court will do. 5 years deferred adjudication, a $1,500 fine, that'll be probated. $57 restitution to SAPD for drug testing. Regular reporting by Zoom or in person. I'm going to want field visits 2 times per month. Proof of employment within 30 days. There's to be no employment as a home healthcare provider or with minors. 200 hours of community service restitution. 40 of those hours will be waived if you provide proof of the COVID vaccination. Court is not requiring you to get that, but if you do, 40 hours will be waived. I'm going to want parenting classes with triple T. Once you complete those parenting classes, the remaining of the community service hours will be waived. Is Child Protective Services in your life? I'm going to want, we're going to start with the UA hotline. And I'm going to want him to call in every day, and I want him tested at least every 2 weeks. We'll do a TAP evaluation. If the TAP evaluation recommends inpatient treatment or some type of treatment, we're going to start with him off with outpatient treatment. Probation, is there anything else he needs? All right, is there anything else you need from me in order to be successful in this probation? All right, I'm gonna show you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it and did you sign it? Okay. Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand? All right, we can go off the record. Here's the thing. You have a 2-year-old son. Well, not 2-year-old, 2 months old or 1 month old. Children look up to their parents. You know how they learn to walk and talk? That's from watching you. So you're gonna have to start setting a good example for him. And because you and your girlfriend and child are living with your mom rules go. So what that means is if your mom wants a curfew at 10, then you got to be in bed at 10. You understand? All right, good luck to you. Remaining court probation, we'll talk to you. Uriah Huffman. You're welcome. Who's the attorney for Uriah Huffman?
The DA has got it.
Hello, Carl. How are you doing?
They don't have food tired.
So otherwise I'm doing well. Hey, and you know what? It's just gonna get
It's about to get worse.
yeah, that happens.
Christmas. Have you done anything? No, me neither. It's like.
Yeah. All right, what is happening with Mr. Huffman? I see we have a discovery.
We're still, so some more stuff was recently uploaded. I haven't gone through it yet.
Because the last time we were here was because of complaining in the second interview or something.
Yeah, the file's a mess. I finally saw it, physically saw it for the first time. Apparently it's been living in intake and there's still like a long list of.
Does it have a house in intake?
I think
You
so.
say it's living there, is it paying rent? What's?
Well, it's government, so it's probably great. But there's a whole list of to-dos on it that aren't checked off. So I mean, maybe they've been done, maybe they haven't.
Judge, the intake prosecutor who has it now, that's not her list. The intake prosecutor who had it has passed away. So she has uploaded everything that is in her possession. I know she has actively worked on it.
That is
And
so sad. Which prosecutor was it?
Mike Cohen.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Laura has it now, and I know that she has good contact with the detective and has uploaded everything that she has turned over.
Okay. That is so sad about Michael Cohen. He always had a smile on his face. Yeah, he was.
Yes, I noticed on the post there, I talked about some records that I haven't seen, but it says it's in the co-actors file according to the post it. So.
All right. So what we'll do.
My file needs to be in full disclosure. So
Okay.
Trying to make.
You should start with that. My file's a mess and then their file's a mess.
Yeah, it's a.
And
it's a perfect- it's a
I
perfect
know
storm.
for a fact, everything in the co-defendant's files it's the same discovery involved as I've seen.
Okay. All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to bring this back at the end of January. Is that possible?
Yes, ma'am.
And so I'm expecting all the discovery to be taken care of at that time. What date, Ms. Ferguson?
The 30th.
All right, so this is going to be recalled for January 30th. And that will be your final discovery. All right, if there's nothing else, you're excused. Yep, I'm going in order of appearance, Mr. Bond.
Judge, may I be able to cut the line?
Yes. All right, can I see the file on Juliana Hughes or Julianne Hughes?
That was.
That was yesterday, Judge.
Yeah.
Oh, yesterday, okay. Oh, thank you, but we should have brought the file up, right?
I didn't put it on the.
I forgot. All right, thank you, that's done.
Can I approach you?
Yes.
So on Adon Silva, you told us to wait around while you're following up on the immigration attorney,
Mhm.
and we haven't heard anything yet.
Nothing back yet, Judge. And Bobby Goody is in trial, so I tried contacting him. So,
You got my word, I will follow up. prior
Okay,
to the
if he doesn't have the immigration by the next setting, we're just gonna do another immigration attorney.
okay.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Brandon Richardson. And what is on deck at the Richardson? It's Luis Pena.
That's up my case, Judge.
Oh, wait a minute. And then it's going to be Vietti,
That's fine, Your Honor.
Griffin, Elon, and then Curtis. Thank you. Okay. Could I see the Brandon Richardson? If you can put this in there, that it's been distance. So, thank you. I think that file is somewhere in the back or something. All right, court is calling 2020 CR 7580 State of Texas versus Brandon Michael Richardson. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Brittany Sparks.
Defense?
Manuel Rodriguez.
And are you Mr. Richardson? All right, I'm going to show you what's entitled Motion to Enter Adjudication of Guilt and Revoke Community Supervision and First Amendment Motion to Enter Adjudication of Guilt and Revoke Community Supervision. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you the same Brandon Michael Richardson who was placed on deferred adjudication in 2020 CR 7580 for the offense of possession of a controlled substance penalty group 1, 4 grams to 200 grams on July 8, 2021 for a period of 5 years? Is that you? State?
Yes, Judge, reading from the first amended motion to adjudicate, violated condition number 1. On or about the 13th day of October 2022 in Bexar County, Texas, the defendant Brandon Michael Richardson committed the offense of felon in possession of a firearm in violation of condition number 1.
How do you plead to that? True or not true?
We'll waive the other violation.
Any objections to the state's waivers?
None, Judge.
Did you understand by pleading true to violation of condition number 1, the court could find it true, grant the motion, find you guilty, and sentence you up to 20 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine? Knowing that, do you still wish to plead true? Court will find violation of condition number 1 true. Is there an agreement?
Yes, Judge, we're asking that you grant the motion, adjudicate and find the defendant guilty, revoke his probation and sentence him to 5 years in TDC. We'll also be taking into consideration cause number 2022 CR 11786B.
B as in boy?
Yes.
Okay. Is that the agreement?
That is the agreement, Judge.
Mr. Richardson, are you asking the court to follow that agreement?
Ma'am.
Are you waiving your right to appeal?
Ma'am.
All right, the court will follow your agreement. The court will grant the motion, find you guilty, sentence you to 5 years in the prison. Take into consideration 2022 CR 11786B. Is there anything else from either side with regards to sentencing?
None, Judge.
Mr. Richardson, I'm going to show you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you sign it? All right, because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement and because you waived your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand? And because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to your attorney. You understand? All right, we can go off the record. Mr. Richardson, how old are you?
37.
All right, so you don't want to be the person at the prison when new people come in and they say, how does things work here? And people say, oh, ask the oldest guy in the prison. They're gonna be like, who is that? Oh, we call him Grandpa Richardson. Don't be the grandpa at the prison, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, good luck to you. Thank you. Luis Pena,
Oh, she could get the file.
court is calling 2022 CR 9120, State of Texas versus Luis Vasquez Pena. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state,
Michelle Hayden for the state.
for the defense? And are you Mr. Pena?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, I'm showing you the discovery acknowledgement. Have you received all the discovery in this case and did you review it with your client?
I did, Judge.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Mr. Pena, I'm showing you what's entitled application for community supervision or deferred adjudication. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
And did you sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
Next, I'm showing you what's entitled true bill of indictment. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
We're proceeding on the lesser included offense of assault bodily injury.
Any objection?
No, Your Honor.
Is this as a family violence or no?
No.
Okay. All right, Mr. Pena, I'm showing you what's entitled court admonishments and defendants waivers and affidavit of admonitions. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand that the state is proceeding on the lesser included offense of assault bodily injury as a class A misdemeanor? The range of punishment is up to a $4,000 fine and up to 1 year in the Bexar County Jail. Did you understand? If you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea bargain agreement. If for any reason the court does not follow your agreement and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call and the right to remain silent? Did you understand by entering this plea bargain agreement, you were giving up those rights?
Yes, ma'am.
And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea bargain agreement in this case?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses to this offense?
Yes, Your Honor, he has.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
I did.
Mr. Pena, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea? Has anyone promised you anything other than the plea bargain agreement?
No.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you a U.S. citizen? Off the record for a moment. Ms. Ferguson, we're going to need Manny Rodriguez back. I see he has another person on the docket, Jose Romero. Okay. All right, we're back on the record. Did you understand if the court were to grant your application for deferred adjudication, if for any reason your deferred adjudication were revoked, the court could sentence you up to 1 year in the Bexar County Jail and up to a $4,000 fine? Did you understand? Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. Showing you the plea bargain page. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
According to the plea bargain agreement, the state is proceeding on the lesser included offense of assault bodily injury, $1,000 fine, and the state recommends deferred adjudication. Did you understand that to be the plea?
Yes, ma'am.
Defense?
Yes.
State?
Yes, Your Honor.
Showing you the paragraph entitled waiver of appeal paragraph. Did you review that paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you sign it in both places? Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, are there any such motions?
No, ma'am.
Next, I'm showing you outside the plea bargain agreement. State is requesting that your deferred adjudication be for a term of 2 years. There be a TAP evaluation, 100 hours community service restitution, the aggression hostility control class, no harmful or injurious contact with Julianne Clark, and no firearms. Did you understand those were recommendations from the state and the court does not have to follow those recommendations?
Yes, ma'am.
Then to the offense of assault bodily injury as a class A misdemeanor, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest.
State any evidence?
State offers State's Exhibit 1, its attachments and evidence.
No objections, Your Honor.
Mr. Pena, I'm showing you what's entitled waiving consent to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state will call and the right to remain silent?
Yes.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports, but most importantly, there will be no live testimony? Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments and review the same.
She has gone. That's true. Test. Just ask her what he said. He's already been under contract.
All right, the court is finding there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty. The court will defer finding of guilt as you applied for deferred adjudication. All right, so anybody want to tell me what's going on here?
Judge, we submitted an affidavit from the complainant. The complainant in this case was actually at one time on juvenile probation for assaulting my client. It's a long and involved story about what actually happened the day of the event. My client is currently residing with his wife, the mother of this young man. And that's why we requested no harmful or injurious contact. They're trying to get back together. The kid is currently staying elsewhere. And so.
How old is the child?
I think it's 19.
Yeah,
18.
Okay.
So that's why we were requesting no harmful or injurious contact, so they can try to reside together as a family again.
Okay, so what am I reading in this police report about the kissing thing or trying to kiss?
If I could put it delicately, Judge, as I always do.
You always do?
I would describe that as a load of BS that was put in this case. The kid was on probation for assaulting my client. I think the long and short of it, a lot of stuff was blown out of proportion. And then of course, what always happens is they start walking it back. There's obviously different versions of events as far as what happened, but I think what we've talked about is the appropriate resolution for the case, and my client's willing to undertake the deferred, and he'll do a good job. And I just think the biggest concern they had, and I think that's from the complainant and also from the mom, is them all being able to reside together.
All right, and so this kissing incident or alleged.
The weirdness, I mean, what's in the report is what's in the report. I know the victim does want to have contact. But I mean, obviously, those are serious allegations, so.
All right. When you're drug tested today, what are the results going to be?
Negative.
All right, let's do a drug test.
I don't have to do one, do it.
I already know what your results are going to be. All right, we're going to do a quick drug test. Do you need water or anything?
No, I think I could probably go now.
Okay, all right. We'll do a drug test and then I'll come back and make my ruling.
All right, thank you, Jeff.
All right, who's here on David Vietti?
I am your.
All right, the court is calling. Oh, you guys need to switch places. Court is calling 2022 CR 4505 State of Texas versus David Vietti. Could I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Daniel Escobar from the state of Texas.
Defense?
Eric DeWalt, I represent Mr. Vietti.
And are you Mr. Vietti?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, I'm showing you the discovery acknowledgement. Have you received all the discovery in this case and did you review it with your client?
I did, Your Honor.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Mr. Vietti, I'm showing you what's entitled application for deferred adjudication or community supervision. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
And did you sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
Next, I'm showing you what's entitled True Bill of Indictment. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
I do, Your Honor.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
We are, Your Honor.
Mr. Vietti, I'm going to show you what's entitled Court Admonishments and Defendants Waivers and Affidavit of Admonitions. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand you're charged with arson of a habitation or place of assembly? That's a first-degree felony. The range of punishment is anywhere from 5 to 99 years or life in prison. Did you understand? And up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand? If you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea bargain agreement. If for any reason the court doesn't follow your plea and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state will call and the right to remain silent? Did you understand by entering this plea bargain agreement, you were giving up those rights?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea bargain agreement in this case? Did you understand that the court would grant your application for deferred adjudication if for any reason your deferred adjudication were revoked? The court could find you guilty, sentence you up to life in prison and up to $10,000 fine.
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
I do, Your Honor.
Do you believe he's currently competent, was legally sane at the time of the offense?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Vietti, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
No, ma'am.
Has anyone promised you anything other than the plea bargain agreement?
No, ma'am.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find the defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. Showing you the plea bargain page. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
According to the plea bargain agreement, punishments be assessed at 8 years in the prison. There's $1,000 fine. State opposes your application for deferred adjudication. State recommends community supervision. They're asking for restitution to Elizabeth Vietti and a MIC evaluation. Did you understand that to be the plea?
Yes, ma'am.
Defense?
Yes, Your Honor.
State?
Yes, Your Honor.
Next, I'm showing you the paragraph entitled Waiver of Appeal paragraph. Did you review that paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in both places?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand? Counsel, have there been any such motions?
No, Your Honor.
Next, I'm showing you outside the plea bargain agreement. State is requesting that your community supervision be for a term of 8 years. There be a TAP evaluation, 200 hours of community service restitution, and no harmful or injurious contact with Elizabeth Elaine Vietti. Did you understand those are recommendations from the state and the court does not have to follow those recommendations?
Yes, ma'am.
Then to the offense as charged in the indictment, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest, ma'am.
State any evidence?
State offer states to the one and all attachments. No objection to its admittance. We've reviewed it, Your Honor, in its entirety.
Showing you what's entitled Waiving Consent to Stipulation of Testimony and Stipulations. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Ma'am.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state will call and the right to remain silent?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports, but most importantly, there will be no live testimony? Did you understand?
Yeah.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments and review the same. All right, after reviewing states exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty. The court will defer finding of guilt as you apply for deferred adjudication. Probation, I'm gonna need a PSI evaluation, with TAP and also a MIC evaluation. Ms. Ferguson, what day are we coming back?
I'm sorry. He's out on bond, right?
Yes.
It'll be February 9th.
All right, we're gonna come back on February 9th. At that time, I'll make a decision on your application. My decision will be based upon the PSI report and any other evidence that's presented to me, okay? Remaining in the courtroom probation will give you instructions. Make sure you make all of those appointments, okay? All right, thank you.
Your Honor, please address the court. Him being reset, I understand he's still on bond. Also put in front of you a motion to amend the conditions of bond. The state is recommending a no harmful or injurious at the end. His mom came down in a different car. She is Elizabeth Vietti. She spoke with prosecution and is currently outside to help Mr. Vietti on his journey or help him get him everywhere. His sister has been taking him everywhere. She also is outside. She's the one that brought him today. We would ask that the no contact with his mother be possibly changed to a no harmful or injurious. State had no objection.
Judge, I don't have any objection. I've spoken to his mother. She said that that's what she wanted.
All right, she's listed as one of the complainants in the police report, though.
Yes, sir. She didn't want to prosecute, but the state has talked to her and we're entering this plea. I mean, it was her house, letting her son stay in almost a vacant house.
All right, do you want to have her come in?
Yes. You want him to stand here?
Yes, you'll have to stand over there, Mr. Vietti.
If you leaning or bending or buckling your knee.
There's not a chance.
It's
Your Honor, I present Miss Elizabeth Vietti.
All right, can you raise your right hand for me, please? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God? All right, I'm gonna need you to speak up. Can you lower your hand, please?
Yeah.
All right, and state your name.
Elizabeth Vietti.
All right, so where, and is David Vietti your son?
Yeah.
All right, where has he been residing during this no contact period?
At 122 Sun Street,
I'm sorry, what?
at 122 Sun Street,
Who's he living with?
his sister.
All right, so is there a problem with him continuing to stay with his sister?
No.
All right. So, any other questions?
Yes, the judge just asked you, is there a problem with him staying with your sister? Are you asking the judge that you be allowed to see your son?
I would like to be allowed to see my son. I need to take him to. It'll be a while. Get mental health for one.
Okay, and we have talked about a possible deferred adjudication or probation in this case. And you understand, we've talked about it being reset for about a month for him to get all the evaluations he might need, correct?
Yes.
Would you be able to assist in getting him to all these places? And is it a hardship to his sister to get him to all these
It
places?
would be a hardship to his sister, but I would be able to take him.
Are you asking the judge to change the no harmful or injurious contact order of bond? The no contact of bond to a no harmful injurious contact of bond?
Yeah,
And in no way has David ever harmed you.
in no way.
All right, any questions?
No, Your Honor.
All right, this is what I do. He's not going to be allowed to reside with you, but you can have contact with him to help him to his appointments, but you're not allowed to reside with her at this time. I'll be able to make a better, more informed decision of whether he should be allowed to reside with you once I get the PSI report back.
Okay.
All right, so it'll be no harmful or injurious contact but he's not allowed to reside with you. You understand?
I understand.
Do you understand?
ma'am.
Anything else?
That's all.
Okay, thank you.
It was February 9th.
All right, Jose Romero.
Right here.
Let's see the file on Jose Romero. Hello, Mr. Romero.
Hello.
Hi, do you have any mental health issues? Have you ever seen a doctor or anything like that? All right, when's the last time you saw the doctor? Have you been seeing one at the jail?
No,
All right, what is your diagnosis?
bipolar schizophrenic disorder.
Okay, all right, so I had you brought out because I understand the issues you're having, but your attorney, wants to be able to see you and talk to you, because if he can't see you and talk to you, there's really nothing that he'll be able to help you with on your case, okay?
Okay.
All right, so what I want you to do is make sure that you speak to your attorney, okay?
Sure.
Is there going to be a problem with that?
No,
All right, are you going to be kind? All right, do you have any questions for me?
no.
Okay, I like your answers. They're direct and to the point. So this is what I need you to do. I need you to just sit over there in the box. We're going to get your attorney to come down and your attorney will speak with you, okay? All right, thank you so much. Yeah, I know, but we wanted him. Can you get Manny Rodriguez back?
He's in the 379, and then he said he'll be right over.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Romero, your attorney's in the 379, but as soon as he finishes there, he's going to come right over and speak to you. Oh, silly Griffin. Hello, good morning. Are you guys ready to proceed?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court is calling 2022 CR 3369, State of Texas versus O'Sealy Griffin. Could I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Brittany Sparks.
Defense?
Megan Enriquez, present for John Coons for O'Sealy Griffin.
And are you Mr. Griffin? Do you have any objection to this attorney standing in? All right, I'm going to show you what's entitled motion to enter adjudication of guilt and revoke community supervision. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? Are you the same O'Sealy Griffin who was placed on deferred adjudication and cause number 2022 CR 3369 for the offense of robbery on October 17th, 2022 for a period of 3 years? Is that you?
Yes.
All right, state.
Violated condition number 1, on or about the 31st day of October 2022 in Bexar County, Texas, the defendant O'Sealy Griffin committed the offense of possession of controlled substance in violation of condition number 1.
How do you plead to that? True or not true?
1 second.
Okay.
Your Honor, if I can actually, this is a great segue into something I'd like to place on the record.
Yeah.
We have discussed that he has potential defenses to this alleged new number 1, this new offense. We've discussed the possibility of a motion to suppress. However, the state has extended 2 offers to him, and he on his own has decided, after a very lengthy conversation that we had, that he wants to proceed today with the state's, one of the state's recommendations, despite discussing a possible motion to suppress and that being the only listed violation on his probation.
Is that correct?
Yes.
And how do you pronounce your first name?
O'Sealy.
O'Sealy. You know, when people mispronounce your name, even if it's a judge, you need to say, excuse me, Your Honor, that's not how you pronounce my name. All right, so I'll remember it's O'Sealy. All right, then to violation of condition number 1, how do you plead? True or not true?
True.
All right, state,
We'll waive the other violation.
any objection?
No objection.
All right, did you understand by pleading true to violation of condition number 1, the court could find it true, grant the motion, find you guilty, and sentence you up to 20 years in prison and up to $10,000 fine? Knowing that, do you still wish to plead true to violation of condition number 1? All right, the court will find violation of condition number 1 true. Is there an agreement?
Yes, Judge, we're asking that you grant the motion, adjudicate and find him guilty, revoke his probation and sentence him to 3 years in TDC. We're also going to be taking into consideration cause number 2022 CR 11791.
Is that the agreement?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you asking the court to follow that agreement?
Yes.
Okay, are you asking the court to follow that agreement? Are you waiving your right to appeal? All right, other than this possession case, how had he been doing on probation? Does anybody know?
He hadn't started. He had only been released from custody for 2 weeks, and it's my understanding he had made 2 phone calls to his probation officer and left 2 voicemails, but hadn't done orientation yet.
Okay.
He has 131 days.
Oh, I don't have the trial court certification. Oh, you gave it to me. Thank you. All right, just one moment. Let me review something. All right. The court will follow your agreement. The court will sentence you to 3 years in the prison, take in consideration 2022 CR 11791 and give you credit for any time served. It appears that you maybe have a drug problem because I read the police reports from the original case. And in the police report, they said they thought you were high. So if you want, I can have you referred to the therapeutic community. It doesn't increase the time that you're in custody. I can't actually order them to place you in it. It will be completely up to them and whether or not you apply. So would you like to do that or no?
I don't have a drug problem, Your Honor, but if that's what you recommend, I would take that into consideration.
All right, so we'll do the therapeutic community. Is there anything else from either side with regards to sentencing?
Nothing further, Your Honor.
All right, I'm going to show you what's entitled trial court certification of defendant's rights to appeal. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it and did you sign it?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waived your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
And because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, we can go off the record. Mr. Griffin, you didn't do well on probation. You're gonna have to make a decision on what you want to do with the rest of your life. Like, do you want to be in and out of prison the rest of your life, in and out of jail? Or do you want to change your lot in life by doing better and making better choices? That's something for you to decide. You understand? All right, good luck to you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. Have a great one. Thank you.
Judge.
Christopher Eland. All right, what's happening with this case?
Well, we've conferred, there's been a change of situations on one of the more serious charges. There's a missing witness that died. And that's crucial to their case, and the state has asked to reset it to get some time to get proof of that.
Okay,
And then we have been conferring on the other 2 cases that are not part of that case that's,
who's the complainant?
I don't know the person's name, sorry, Judge.
Is this on the aggravated
Yeah,
assault case?
yeah. I was appointed November 19th. I think he had a prior hired lawyer that got off his case. And
Yeah, on Google, how old is this complainant?
Judge, I'm looking at this is CTV case.
All right, let me see.
Jake Self.
All right, because on Google it says that he's dead. Is he 21?
Judge, we requested the information on him, and if we do get a death certificate, in response, we can, do it then. But we did request it already.
All right, it shows that unless there's another Jake Self in San Antonio, if this is the 21-year-old, it shows that he's passed. So what I'll do is I'll reset this. How much time do you all think you need?
We already requested it today, Judge, so we should have it hopefully this week.
And
I'm out of town next week, Judge.
all right, so do you want to recall this back on Friday? Is he able to come back on Friday? I know we may have too many people.
Yeah, maybe too much.
Well, you know what? Let's go. I'm gonna call somebody and see if it's doable. Because if this is a case that's gonna be taken care of and people say that there's overcrowdedness of Bear County Jail, which there is. But more importantly, Deputy Laura, I know you can work miracles. But yes,
I was just gonna say my last name's not Eden, it's Island.
thank you. See, that's what I mean. Correct when people mispronounce. It's Island.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, Brenna, that's something that they made a mistake when I was in first grade, because you know what they said?
The East Sider.
They said, no, they said when two vowels go walking, the first one does the talking, and this E is silent.
Oh, yeah.
So, all right, I'll remember Island.
Thank you, sorry.
Sure, no problem. So with that,
We could
the
try,
issue with
Judge.
security.
We could try.
All right, so we'll bring you back on Friday the 16th.
Judge, I'm not leaving town till Monday afternoon. I mean,
Oh.
Monday makes it easier.
Does Monday make it easier, Norma?
Let me. Maybe the 19th.
Thank you, Mr. Dwight Chomley. I always feel like I should say his name with an English accent.
Yeah, you should.
I can leave it on Friday, Judge. I think we can squeeze them in on Friday.
Okay, so we're gonna come back on the 16th.
Okay. See you then. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome.
Have a great day.
Oh, thank you.
See you later.
RC Curtis. They are not here, okay. Okay, all right, thank you. All right, Huffman.
He's done. He's done.
Oh, okay, that's done. And do we have the drug result on Pena?
You have to go put it back.
I guess not. Joshua Gonzalez. Joshua Gonzalez.
Karen Colby.
I don't know where she went.
She stepped out.
We did finish Brandon Richardson, right?
Yes.
Okay. Oh, yes. Okay, just 1 second. That one's done. Stephen Ward.
Further, Your Honor.
All right, where are we on the medical records?
Judge, they just received them, they're downloading them. I don't know whether it's 10 pages, 1,000 pages. I would request that I in fact get them, review them, or I say that I received everything.
All right, and state, have you made an offer or no?
I don't believe an offer has been made in this case yet.
All right, Ms. Fergus, can you recall this in 30 days, please?
I'll do the 24th.
All right, we'll come back on January 24th at 9 a.m.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. Oh, and with regards to the medical records, Mr. Acevedo, are you going to need a password? Do you have the password?
She's working on putting it on a desk for me.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Can you put that on the 24th, correct, Norma?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you. Megan McCloskey.
Ready, Your Honor.
Thank you. And probation, this is for deferred. All right, the court is calling 2022 CR 7777A, State of Texas versus Megan McCloskey. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Daniel Escobar from the state of Texas.
Defense?
I'll report for Mr. McCloskey.
And are you Ms. McCloskey?
Yes, sir.
Counsel, I'm showing you the discovery acknowledgement. Have you received all the discovery in this case and did you review it with your client? Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Ms. McCloskey, I'm showing you what's entitled application for deferred adjudication or community supervision. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it and did you sign it?
Yes, sir.
Next, I'm showing you what's entitled true bill of indictment. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, Judge.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
I do, Your Honor.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
Your Honor, we're proceeding on count 2 and waiving count 1.
Any objection?
No, Your Honor, no objection.
Ms. McCloskey, I'm showing you what's entitled court's admonishment and defendant's waivers and affidavit of admonitions. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, Judge.
Did you understand in count 2, you're charged with possession of a controlled substance penalty group 2 over 400 grams as a second degree felony? I'm sorry, as a first degree felony.
That may have been a typo, Your Honor.
Counsel, if you could initial. Supporter, could you initial? Brenna, are you okay with them talking? Because yes. Thank you. Oops. All right, Mr. McCloskey.
Miss.
I keep saying Mr. McCloskey. The reason why I'm saying it is because I'm thinking about Mr. Romero and whether or not I should tell him to be quiet a little bit. So Hi. Do you mind just whispering if you can, okay? Because we're on the record. All right, sorry about that. Ms. McCloskey, I'm going to show you what's entitled court admonishments and defendants waivers and affidavit of admonitions. Did you get a chance to review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, Judge.
All right, and count 2, you're charged with the offense of possession of a controlled substance penalty group 2 over 400 grams. That's a first degree felony. The range of punishment is anywhere from 5 to 99 years or life in prison and up to $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
If you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court doesn't have to follow it. If for any reason I do not follow your plea bargain agreement and give you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state will call in the right to remain silent?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand by entering this plea bargain agreement, you were giving up those rights?
Yes, Judge.
And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea in this case?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you understand if I grant your application for deferred adjudication, if for any reason your deferred adjudication were revoked, I could find you guilty, sentence you up to life in prison and up to $10,000 fine?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
Yes,
Do you believe she has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against her?
yes, Your Honor.
Do you believe she's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
Yes, Your
Ms. McCloskey, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
No, ma'am.
Has anyone promised you anything other than the plea?
No, ma'am.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Very.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, ma'am.
Hey, we have the very in there, Mr. Porter. Brenda, we have to pause and accept the very. All right.
Thanks to you.
Oh, thank you. Well, wow. All right, the court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived her right to jury trial, showing you the plea bargain page. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, Judge.
All right, according to the plea, the state is proceeding on count 2. There's a $1,500 fine. State recommends deferred adjudication. There's to be restitution. Is this the restitution for drug testing?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, and we don't know what the restitution amount is?
$57, Judge.
All right,
Sorry about that.
and is this,
One of those.
oh, it happens. Is this the San Antonio Police Department or is this?
Fair County.
All right, and counsel, could you initial that too?
Yes, Your Honor.
But Brenda, no matter what happens, we're still closer to Friday than we were yesterday. So there's always something to look forward to. All right, and did you understand there's also a $57 restitution to Bear County for drug testing?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand that to be the plea?
Yes, ma'am.
Defense, is that the plea?
It is, Your Honor.
State?
Yes, Your Honor.
Next, I'm showing you the paragraph entitled waiver of appeal paragraph. Did you review that paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you sign it in both places?
Yes, Judge.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, Judge.
Counsel, have there been any such motions?
Sure, Your Honor.
Next, I'm showing you outside the plea bargain agreement. The state is requesting that you defer adjudication before a term of 5 years. There be a top evaluation and 200 hours of community service restitution. Did you understand those are recommendations from the state and the court does not have to follow those recommendations?
Yes, Judge.
Then to count two in the indictment, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest.
State, any evidence?
State offer states exhibit 1 and all attachments.
No, Judge.
Ms. McCloskey, I'm showing you what's entitled waiver and consent to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call and the right to remain silent?
Yes, Judge.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports, but most importantly, there will be no live testimony? Did you understand?
Yes, Judge.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments and review the same. All right, after reviewing states exhibits 1 and attachment, the court will find there's sufficient evidence to find you guilty. The court will defer finding of guilt as you've applied for deferred adjudication. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
If we may, Your Honor.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
I would, Your Honor. First, we respectfully request the court to follow the agreement. Ms. McCloskey, I believe I spoke to the court a little bit earlier about some past experiences and what is happening. Started self-medicating, doing different things, doing different stuff. While we're here, Judge, also, she is currently now addressing those things. She does currently see a psychiatrist to deal with their bipolar depression and self-medication. She currently works 50+ hours for UPS. And so she's getting her life in order, Your Honor, and so we respectfully request that follow the agreement.
Okay. And how are the burns?
They're healed, but I still have horrible circulation issues. So there's days I can't use my legs, but we're getting there. I'm alive and I'm grateful for that.
All right, who is your support system?
My mother and my father and my wife, Chelsea.
Okay, do you live by yourself?
No, ma'am.
And so it's your wife, anybody else?
Just me and Chelsea.
All right, do you have any children?
I have a stepson.
All right, and what's the age?
He's 7.
All right, and I'm assuming the 7-year-old lives with you and,
No, ma'am. He's currently with his paternal grandparents due to this case that's going on currently.
all right. And is there CPS case going on as well?
No, ma'am. It's been closed since 2015. There was one that was opened and mentioned, but it has been closed since.
So do you know the results of that? Were rights terminated?
There were no rights. I'm not involved. Chelsea's involved, but there was temporary conservatorship that was given to the paternal grandparents in 2015.
Well,
it's expired and that's a family court thing now. Unfortunately, the attorney we had appointed to us hasn't really helped us out too much with that. So,
all right. Well, here's the thing, what I know about CPS cases. What I know is it doesn't matter if you're the step parent or not. If there's a child protective services case open, everybody's involved.
Yes, ma'am.
So that means if she has a service plan to do, you have a service plan to do. If you don't do the service plan and she stays with you, then she's not getting her child back.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So you work for UPS, are you delivering packages?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you just throw them?
No.
Or do you gently place them down?
No, I wish I could get that extra $5 right now that Amazon's paying, because I take great care of it.
Okay. All right. So what are we doing to address? I know your attorney said you're seeing a psychiatrist, but what are we doing to address any drug issues? Are you going to meetings? What are you doing?
No, ma'am, I'm not going to meetings. I self-medicate, and now my new medicine is overworking myself, so I just try to stay as busy and as active as I can. I've gone on a huge diet and joined a gym, so I'm working out and trying to find other outlets to
She's on prescription medication.
oh, that as well.
Okay.
And therapy. Lots of therapy.
All right, this is what the court is going to do. 5 years deferred adjudication. $1,500 fine, that'll be probated. Restitution of $57 for testing. Proof of employment within 30 days. There's to be no employment as a home health care provider or with minors. 200 hours of community service restitution. 40 of those hours will be waived if you provide proof of the COVID vaccination. Court is not requiring you to do that, but if you've done it with the booster and you have proof, you turn it in, you'll have 40 hours deducted.
Is it 40 hours for every shot I've gotten? Or
No, just 40 hours. Parenting classes, and once you complete the parenting classes, the remaining of the community service hours will be waived. There should be regular reporting by Zoom or in person. I'm going to want field visits one time per month. We can do a MIC evaluation. You're going to have to provide a release, sign a release for your information with your psychiatrist so we can make sure that you're staying on top of things.
Yes, ma'am.
We'll do a TAP evaluation. And if the TAP evaluation recommends inpatient treatment or intensive outpatient treatment, we're going to start with outpatient treatment. And I'm going to want sober meetings. At least one per week. And you can, there are sober meeting locations throughout San Antonio, 24 hours. Here's the thing, if you find that you need to do sober meetings 5 times a week, 10 times a week, that's fine, because my goal is for you to determine what you need to do in order to remain clean and sober. So regardless, you're on probation for 5 years deferred, it may end up getting terminated early if you be successful. But the fact that you may figure out that you need more sober meetings than what I'm giving you, that's not going to stop you from being terminated early if that were to happen. I'm going to want field visits one time per month until further notice. And we'll do regular UAs. Probation, is there anything else you need?
No.
Is there anything else you need from the court in order to be successful?
No, ma'am. Thank you.
All right, I'm going to show you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, good luck to you.
Thank you.
All right. Mr. Mauer, has your client UA?
Yes, he has, Judge, clean as a whistle.
That is awesome.
Yes. You can take,
Just giddy with people.
Judge, if you order me to take one, I'll buy some of his urine and submit it.
Okay. Let's finish with your client's sentencing then.
Okay, and I also have an MTR that we're ready to go on.
All right. Luis Pena. We're back on the record in 2022 CR 9120. All right, the court will sentence you to 2 years deferred adjudication, $1,000 fine, probated, 100 hours of community service restitution, 40 of those hours will be waived if you provide proof of the COVID vaccination. Court is not requiring you to do that, but if you complete that, or if you've had that done, 40 of the hours will be waived. The aggression hostility course. No harmful or injurious contact with Julian Clark. No firearm possession, so if there's any firearms in the house, they need to go. Regular reporting by Zoom or in person. Proof of employment within 30 days. There should be no employment as a home health care provider or with minors. Field visits one time per month. And regular UAs, or you can do the patch. The patch costs more, but with the patch, they just put it on and they tell you when to come back so they can take it off. With regular UAs, you're just constantly coming down.
Okay.
All right, probation, is there anything else he needs?
No.
Is there anything else you need from the court to be successful?
No, ma'am. Just trying to get this behind me.
All right. I'm going to show you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it and did you sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement and because you waived your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
Yeah.
All right, good luck to you.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. All right, who's here on Jacqueline Wood? Which attorney is this?
Michael White, he said if he can come back on Friday, Judge.
All right. His client's in custody?
Yes.
All right, Ms. White, we're going to bring you back on Friday at the request of your attorney, and we'll take care of your matter then. Thank you. The deputy will let you know if you can leave. You're welcome. All right, who's here on Jeanette Simmons?
There's Nathaniel Nady. He's on a Zoom back there, Judge.
Okay, this is set for tomorrow.
That's set for tomorrow, but the defendant has COVID. And he wants to know if he can get reset back.
All right, let me see. Is this client allowed to available by Zoom?
He'd rather not do it on Zoom because he has
witnesses
and stuff.
All right, when do you want to call this back for?
I can do the 9th of January.
All right, we'll be back on January 9th. I'll let him know.
Okay.
Judge, I have a quick matter for you if I can approach. You have the file in front of you.
All right, so here's the thing. I understand that people have quick matters, but I go in order of which the file was placed with me. So I don't know who your client is, but I'm going in order in which they're here.
Okay, just
All right. All right, Charles Jones.
there we go. Can we
Okay.
approach Judge off the microphone and we have a
Sure.
matter on that case?
All right, all right, Mama, on Charles Jones.
Yes, ma'am.
If you recall this mid-February, it's for discovery.
I can do the 23rd.
All right, we're gonna come back on the 23rd at 9 a.m.
Second.
And welcome to Mr. Where's Mr. Jones? All right, Mr. Jones, we're gonna come back on February 23rd for the stating the defense to exchange discovery, okay? All right, thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
It would be excused
I think it's.
after we get the reset. Okay, thank you, Judge. I'll let you sign that.
Oh, this is-
Oh, yes, mine, yeah.
David Sanchez. Is the attorney here on David Sanchez? All right. Roy Vidalis. Is the attorney here on Roy Vidalis?
Judge, that would happen to be me. Yes. So if I'm not here tomorrow, you'll know.
All right, court is calling 2021 CR 5893, state of Texas versus Roy Raul Vidalis. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Daniel Escobar for the state of Texas.
Defense?
Robert Mauer for defendant, Your Honor.
Okay, I'm gonna need everybody to be quiet in the box while we're at the record. And are you Rod Vidalis?
Roy, Raul Vidales, yes.
For the record. Oh, I'm sorry. That's okay. All right, Mr. Vidalis, I'm gonna show you what's entitled, motion to enter adjudication of guilty of drug communication on the state's motion, something that can be motion to enter adjudication of guilty of drug, community supervision. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
At state?
Violated condition
Oh,
number
I'm
4.
so sorry. It's, it's been a long day. Are you the same Roy, Raul Vidalis, who's placed on deferred adjudication of 2021 CR 5893 for the offense of possession of a controlled substance, killing for 1 less than 1 gram on March 9th, 2022 for a period of 3 years? Is that it?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, stay.
Violated condition number 4 in Bexar County, Texas. The defendant, Roy Raul Vidales, has been in there, failed to report to the supervision officer as directed for the months of April and May of 2022 in violation of condition number 4.
Is that true or not true?
True. Your Honor, state waives all the violations.
Any objection?
No, Your Honor.
All right, did you understand by pleading true to violation of condition number 4, the court will find it true to grant the motion, find you guilty, sentence you up to 2 years in the state jail facility and up to a $10,000 fine? Did you understand that?
Yes.
Knowing that you still wish to plead true to violation of condition number. All right, the court will find violation of condition number 4 true. Is that agreement?
Yes, Your Honor, it's an agreed revocation for 6 months in the state jail facility.
That's our understanding, Judge. Would ask the court to follow it and would also ask the court to give him credit for the 37 days he spent in jail.
That's the court will follow that agreement.
Yes,
Are you waiting your right to appeal?
yes.
All right, the court will follow your agreement, grant the motion, find you guilty, sentence you to 6 months in the state jail facility, and give you credit for any time served. Is there anything else with regards to sentencing?
No, ma'am.
Mr. Vidalis, I'm showing you what's entitled the trial court certification of defendant's rights to appeal. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you sign it? Because this is a plea bargaining agreement, because I followed your plea bargaining agreement, and because you waived your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes.
Because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to the attorney. Do you understand?
Yes.
All right, good luck to you. We can go off the record. I know that I ordered for you to have parenting classes, which means you're a parent. How old are you?
30, just turned 30 on October 23rd.
All right, you're getting close to being, to having half of your life behind you. Right?
Yes.
Really, once you cross the 50-year-old mark like me, mid-50s, half of your life is behind you. You're in the twilight of your life, fall of your life. If you don't change your ways, you're gonna wake up, you're gonna find your child is an adult, and you're gonna find yourself having spent the majority of your life in custody. Understand? Do better.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, good luck to you.
Thank you, Judge. Might be excused.
You may be
Have a seat.
excused.
I'm going to that place we talked about this afternoon, and I'll see what I can find out.
All right, thank you. So we already completed Christopher Island.
Yes.
All right, who's here on Joshua Gonzalez? Here, Corleone. All right, after Joshua Gonzalez, you have David Sanchez, and then we have Carlos Arts. All right, what is happening on Joshua Gonzalez?
Judge, on this one, we are asking for a little bit more time. We're still looking into talking to the detective about a potential incoming case.
I know the last time we were here. Where are we on the text message?
So the text messages are a part of the new case with the detective potentially. I don't have those text messages yet. I've asked for them. But I think our biggest concern right now is getting the new case figured out before we do anything else.
And what is the new case?
I guess it would,
What is it like?
it hasn't come in yet from SAPD, but probably aggravated sexual assault of a child.
All right, so we're gonna set this in mid-February, because hopefully I give everybody a chance to have everything. So what day in mid-February?
February, I can do the 23rd as well, Judge.
All right, so Mr. Gonzalez, we're gonna come back on February 23rd, and at that time, we'll see where we are on discovery, okay? All right, thank you. Okay. Oh my gosh, I didn't recognize you with that, with the mask on.
Are we approached?
Yes. Hi, Miguel.
I'm very good.
Completely different.
You're not on Zoom, so.
You look completely different.
So nice to see you.
Nice to see
In
you
the
too.
Caribbean.
Yeah.
It's my friend.
Nice to meet you.
Gustavo Zambrana.
Hi, nice
He's
to
also
meet
an
you.
attorney from Puerto Rico.
Oh, wow.
He's practicing in Austin, but I'm trying to get him to Tony.
Oh my
Juan
gosh.
and Tony.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to relocating here.
Oh, wow. Well, I'm telling you, you look like a G-man now, like you're, right?
I didn't recognize him at first either.
I didn't either.
Thank you.
I think has he been exercising, putting us all to shame?
I'm doing other stuff, but in January, I'm getting back to practice. So I'll hopefully do something around.
Okay, awesome. It's good seeing you. I didn't recognize, see, you two kept standing back and I'm like, do I know him?
We were waiting and enjoying your cleverness. You're on because your advice is very nice and direct.
Oh, well, thank you.
I feel like we don't a bit sad all the having half of your life behind you.
Okay. Hey, we do, you know, I tell everybody all the time, I'm in the twilight of my life. They don't believe me, Brenna. But I mean, honestly, think about it, if we live to be 200, they would make us work till we were 140 years old. And then there would be somebody in the legislature saying, we need to increase the time because we're going to run out of money. Then they put us at, you can retire at 180. Then you only have a good 20 years left.
I enjoyed about the being the grandpa in jail.
Who wants to do that?
Very nice.
So are you going to be around on the 20th? Yes.
Yeah, in San Antonio, yes, I should be
Hey,
here.
stop, both come by on the 20th. We should be doing something here on the 20th at noon.
I'll drive. It's just an hour away.
Okay, see, 12:30.
But I have to bring.
Oh, bring something Puerto Rican.
Oh, I can remember what Puerto Rico.
Okay, yes, okay, wow, yes, do that.
Okay, I do that.
Yeah, you know, I'm always interested in learning new foods.
Something more easy to bring than something Puerto Rican. How
I will bring.
I don't know how to do that.
We have to put it out, sure, don't worry.
Okay, okay.
Okay, and so what do you say you're bringing?
Cookie dough.
What is that?
Coconut alcoholic drink.
Oh, we can't do alcohol in court, but okay.
I was
Eggnog, okay,
Yeah.
okay. Because you know, I don't drink alcohol.
tropical and alcoholic.
Okay, but it's good meeting you. Don't be a stranger.
It was nice to meet Judge, and I'm looking forward to also having cases here.
Where we gonna go to the,
the whale.
1:30 to the wheel?
Oh, okay. Yeah, I think that's on, is that on the 3rd?
Yeah, we have this
card of the person.
Yeah.
Okay, awesome.
He still has to do that.
What day?
So fair, because I mean, it's so fun to wait for you in your court.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
I was telling you that being here is like being in the court in different.
Wednesday.
Mhm.
It just says-
Oh, you.
Nice to meet you.
Have a good day.
Your time.
All right, thank you.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'm back.
Yeah.
Oh, super nice.
Yeah.
I'm still doing real estate, so, but now it's canceled, so okay.
Wanna say to bring your.
Bye-bye. All right, who's here for David Sanchez?
Bring your next one.
No.
Oh, and your attorney is Karen Corby? Deborah Burke? Okay, just give us a moment. All right, and there's somebody here for an off docket matter, Carlos Vargas? Okay, okay.
Take a deep breath.
I didn't meditate this morning, but I usually do. Helps a lot. Seriously, just 5 minutes, just sit down, close your eyes.
All right, so is he with DDRF or no?
So Judge, I believe from the information I've received is he's been ordered, he was evaluated, he ordered the evaluation. He's incarcerated at Bear County. Subsequently, he's supposed to do DDRF. And he's in jail right now. So I have two different motions. I have one motion for removal of the interlock because the parents are trying to get the device off the car and smart so it's like, well, probation. I was like, well, let me see if I can remove the order. My second motion, which I've conferred with the state on, the state's gonna object to it, is for like a limited release. Like his mother just got out of surgery. Both parents are elderly and they could really use him like for a few weeks around the house. So I was, due to the wait periods with the treatment facility, I was gonna ask for like a 1 month release, GPS, full house arrest, weekly reporting, weekly UAs. And in the spirit of the holiday season, I was hoping that request would be granted. But I have conferred with the state.
I mean, the spirit of the holiday season, is this before or after the Grinch got his heart?
Judge,
I prefer before.
Yeah.
I mean, Judge, we do realize he's been providing a lot of grace. It's just I've been Zooming with him the past few days and I said, you know what, I'll try. I said, it's up to the judge. State's not going to agree to it. I informed him.
Well, we can recall this because I need to know information about what's the wait time on the treatment bed. I see he's been waiting for the treatment bed since October. But if I need to know where he is on the list for DDRF because we may not be able to keep him in custody for DDRF because I know it's been like 42 weeks or 30 weeks. So I'm gonna need to know where he is on the list. And we're gonna come back on this. And when can we come back on this?
Does he need to be here?
No.
We can do Friday.
I'd love Friday.
All right. And if you can give the information to probation so that they can find out where he is on DDRF.
Yes, ma'am. And the ignition interlock removal, were you able to grant that?
Let's see where we're on this.
You want to just come back on Friday?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am. Perfect.
All right. And the only reason why we're not having your client here is because there's a limited number of people are allowed to order from jail. And if I'm inclined not to grant the motion, of course, we'll have your client here.
Yes, ma'am. And I do want the court to know that we want to be respectful of the other cases that are already on the docket and priority. So I'll be
You're
here.
so awesome.
I'll be
Thank
here on
you.
Friday, Judge, and thank you very much for your time.
All right, thank you. Norma, on
I'll see you on Friday.
Eddie Marine. I have this file. It's MARIN. He was here. He's Thomas Hilly's client. Can you come forward? Oh, yes. Your client is in Uvalde County. So we're going to recall this. Is he in trial in Uvalde?
Yes.
Ah. So Norma, let's put this in January. We're going to have to call you back in January. He's in trial. What date, Ms. Ferguson?
I can do January on the 12th.
All right, we're going to come back on January 12th. And it'll be at 9 a.m. They'll give you a reset form and your excuse. You're welcome.
You find one call. I think that should be.
Did we complete April Keeler? Can I see the files we have remaining?
Oh, sorry. It's loading the attorney now.
All right, Norma, have you got an update? I'm
Okay.
sorry. Okay, all right, thank you so much.
She knows she has to wait. She's doing Richardson.
All right, April Keeler, can you come forward? All right, Ms. Keeler, have you had contact with your attorney?
Yes, he didn't make it into the interviews, but I did talk to him yesterday.
All right, so you're saying your attorney has health issues?
Yes, something, for some reason, he wasn't able to make it in today, and I believe he's already contacted Joe.
Norma, have you had a contact with Mr. Richardson?
He just said he was sick, Judge.
All right, what we're gonna do is we're gonna recall your case for January.
Okay, I've got my PTSD orientation, and
when is that scheduled?
This is, I've already gone through. I've gotten credited with November and December. And January 10th is my next check-in.
Okay, so what we'll do is we'll do a date other than January 10th, okay?
Okay.
All right. Ms. Ferguson, can I have a date other than January 10th?
Yes, ma'am, I can do January 9th.
All right, so we're gonna have you come back on January 9th. And if your attorney is unable to make it, we'll see what we can do, okay?
Thank you
All
so
right, thank
much.
you for your
I've got
patience.
my receipts and everything in case you want to see them.
No, no problem. Thank you so much.
Yes,
I
ma'am.
appreciate it.
Not here. It comes. Thank you.
And Norma, have you heard anything from Alfredo Ortiz?
I texted him, Judge. I haven't heard from him. I just need to check the system real quick. If you give me just a moment, Judge.
Okay.
What did I say, January 9th?
And I think they've already been sent back, correct?
I have no idea.
Okay.
I don't know. Just sign it there.
Is that it for receipt?
Just one second. I think so, but let me see.
I have not heard from him, Judge, and I did text him, but I have not heard from him.
All right, so what date can we recall this on? It should be a case that should be taken care of. I know that person wants to be out. So can we recall this for next week? And if the defense attorney doesn't show, we're probably gonna have to appoint somebody else.
Okay, the 19th.
19th?
Yeah.
Okay. Merry Christmas.
Can go over.
And that's Garcia. And Norma, that's Christopher Garcia.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. And who's the attorney for Garden Chase?
Alfonso Cabanas.
He's in trial, Judge, in another county.
All right. When do you want to set this for?
Do you want to set it for the new year?
Yes.
We can set it on the 9th.
All right. We'll bring that back on the 9th then. And then Eric Johnson.
Eric Johnson, I did contact Ruben, but I have not heard from Ruben Flores.
All right. Let me see something. All right, Norma, can we call this next week? Is it possible or no?
Sure. Judge. 12/19.
Okay. And if the defense attorney is appointed, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, if he doesn't show, we'll see about getting another attorney. And then we have Curtis Williams.
Curtis Williams. Oh, Wendy McCullough wasn't able to make it in today, but she said she can do it tomorrow.
Okay. Is he in custody?
He's out on bond, Judge. Judge didn't mean he had excused him. They were just supposed to get the discovery from the state. They didn't receive the discovery, but she wanted her back here.
Okay.
She said she did get the discovery from the state.
All right, we'll recall it for tomorrow. And then Mr. Sanchez. Yes, what is happening? Yes, what is happening with your case?
Here come your honor. Thank you.
Mr. Sanchez, come forward. Yes,
We have a plea offer. I just want a date to come to do the plea.
all right, you guys want to come back tomorrow?
Can I look at my calendar?
Yes.
Can you come tomorrow? I can do tomorrow.
All right, Ms. Ferguson will give you a recent form. Thank you so much for dressing appropriate for court.
Judge, I told him the same thing.
Yes,
Yeah.
I mean, it's GQ. Thank you.
Yeah. No, I told him you look so cute.
Okay. All right, everyone. That's our last case. Brenner, we are done for today. And we'll be back tomorrow.
We still need one more. Oh. Oh, no, that one's gonna get, we're gonna refer that to Meg. She needs a copy of that. Put on that one. Yeah, give her that one.
So do we have one more?
That one. Okay, so we're going to recall. You wanted me to set it?
Yes. Okay, I'll take care of it. All right, so we'll be back tomorrow at 9 a.m. Another day.